Yo, welcome to SmallmouthCrush. SmallmouthCrush. Cole, you talking? Hey.
Yeah, man.
You're
you're up. Do what we rehearsed. Say yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Can we go yo? SmallmouthCrush, come in. Epic Eric to SmallmouthCrush, come in.
Maybe it's time you go to bed then, brothers, if you ain't playing along.
We're trying to reach him, guys. This is the most epic intro of all time.
All right, say goodbye. Wave to everyone. Wave to the screen.
See you, Cole.
Bye, Cole.
You know how to get upstairs? All right.
I don't.
Well, you know how.
No.
Just walk up the stairs.
I don't know how to.
Hold on, guys.
Ghost up there, man.
Looks like we're gonna have largemouth crush again, Eric.
Well,
it's been a while since largemouth crush.
Largemouth crush. That was the epic intro we rehearsed for the last 3 days, and he's not paid enough. He's renegotiating his contract. Little Small Crush and I have formed a union. We're holding out for.
What do you think of the outfit?
Why is one sock like 6 inches higher than the other one?
Well, if you ask Eric, it's because my calves are unproportionate. I don't know.
Any news on the calf front?
Dude, I don't want to talk about my health issues right now.
Okay, I just want to make sure everything was going good. You got some news?
No, it ain't good.
Okay.
Christ.
Sorry, bro.
I'll be fortunate if I'm here next year at this time, but that's just my diagnosis.
Do you have any last wishes? Like you want your ashes in Sturgeon Bay, a little bit on the
I want to be buried
with your cell phone.
Preferably frozen, but I don't think that's going to happen.
You want to be flash frozen, like a fresh fish?
Yeah.
And maybe be brought back for another round of it later when medical technology.
It's complicated, but yeah.
Is
What's up, guys?
going to bring you back, or is like modern medicine going to bring you back? That's what I want to know. He's frozen. Hey, look, you were frozen for a minute. You got your wish. It's crazy.
This fucking light's got to go.
Is it the prophecy? Is it a little foreshadow? I don't know. You're in the dark now, but it's all right.
Doctors don't know what's wrong with me, man.
Then I'm guessing nothing is. What's going on, Tim? Jay
all
Henning.
My blood work's good.
Nothing to worry about, man. Fight through it.
It's not a blood type of cancer. I think it's some type of tumor in my leg, dude. So I go next week for another ultrasound.
Well, man, good luck. Seriously, man. No joking aside, bro. I know you're worried about it.
I'm to the point I don't care anymore. I'm already ready.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to go there yet. But
I did my thing. I had my last sight fish tournament.
How'd it go?
I love tournaments. I love sight fishing events. And
dude, who wouldn't, man? Is there anything more thrilling?
Man, it's so much fun. I can't.
You're good at it.
Tell you. I can't tell you. But we got some cool stuff. We got Gary Atkins, who, of course, beat my monkey ass in the tournament last week, or yesterday.
What did he weigh in?
I don't remember, but he was right there. You know, we'll ask him. Then we got. So you guys know Sean from the live stream, super fan. I invited him up to come up fishing with me Saturday to kind of.
Dude, that's so awesome.
Well, we were going to go today, but the weather was crap. And I called him and I said, dude, we're going to go Saturday because Monday is going to be too bad. And, you know, we're in practice mode, but you're still going to have fun. Do you want to come up? 5 hours, right? He's in. He left at like 3 a.m. Dang. Red Bulls and Monster and who knows what.
Man, that's hard.
And he showed up, dude, and we hit it hard. So we got Sean. We're going to talk about a little bit our experience, and then maybe touch base about the classic because we missed the live last week. Sorry.
Okay. It'll come together. Do you struggle as a grown man sometimes with dates and weeks? Where you're at? Okay.
Yes.
It's Monday.
Where are you at, by the way?
Outer Banks, bro. Outer Banks, man.
Catching them speckled trout, dude.
I'm gonna get salty with it. I haven't even cast a rod yet, man. I worked all day, so yeah. Anyway, but no, mornings and evenings, man. It should get good about Wednesday. The wind's not right. Wind's coming from the west, and when it blows from the land to the ocean, it doesn't upwelling. So the temperature in the surf can go from like 70 to like 60 or lower in like 24 hours. Yeah, the cold water, it's an upwelling, and so the fish just shut down. It's crazy, man. So yeah, we'll get a good wind here coming up in the next couple days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday should be on. Spanish mackerel, speckled trout, some puppy drum. It's gonna go off. It's gonna be good. I love me some saltwater fishing, man. Mix it up. Tune it up. Is that a white claw you're cracking open?
Yes.
What flavor?
Black cherry. Black
Okay.
cherry. What's up, buddy?
Can you find the green one?
What's he trying to do?
Look under the bed.
Yeah, why don't you come in and say hi to everybody?
Come on, SmallmouthCrush.
Grandpa's
is-
in the house too.
Heck yeah.
Grandpa Crush.
Old man Leonard. Ho. We're gonna go fishing tomorrow, aren't we?
Yeah,
Do a little walleye fishing tomorrow.
All like it. That's us.
I had to buy his license online because he couldn't. You don't know how to use the internet.
It's only $7.
Your internet, because you're a senior. Your internet here sucks, bro. I can't even upload nothing. See ya.
What?
I
Why don't you
sound-
upgrade for me, man? And take
I
care
sound-
of it, man. Just get
I
on there
sound-
and do something for your pop.
Yeah, I sent him the quick trip to go get some night crawlers tonight. You know,
I got you. Is he gonna dig them up in the yard or go to the
No.
store?
he just bought some. He brought some back.
I got you. Okay.
We're gonna go crack on the Walter tomorrow.
Nice.
They like that you called your dad bro.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, boat flipping productions, man. You know, Travis is like that with his pops, man. What's up, bro? Go get me
What's
some
up,
night
bro?
crawlers, yo.
Yo, we cleaned the boat today. I detailed it. The boat's the cleanest it's been since it was new.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
like I was 5 hours deep into it.
that's crazy.
A lot of work. Like, you know how in between the jack plate and the motor and down below how it gets all nasty? Like I was
Sure.
toothbrush and scrubbing. Like the jack plate's back to like silver.
Man,
Amazing.
awesome.
Amazing. You're back. What you need?
Done.
A gun. Why? What's out there? Are those coons out there? I told you not to shoot those. If you shoot those coons, dude, I swear to God. This is mom's idea, isn't it? Don't shoot those raccoons.
Travis, you got to take your computer out there and
No, get out of here. Don't shoot them. Hold on a second. Keep talking. I'm going to save these coons. Hey, don't shoot those.
I don't even know what to say, man. So,
don't
Alex,
know
have
why
you been fishing like a man once I saved the raccoon episode?
Yeah, I don't know what his deal
Let's
is
try
with
to
the
think about-
raccoons, but yeah. So I got a tournament this weekend. I'm fishing the state tournament here as a co-angler. We got a ton of rain last weekend. I've never been on the lake, and it's up like 4 foot, so should be pretty interesting to see what goes on. So that's what I got
what's
going
the
on.
bank like where you're fishing, man? And where are you fishing?
It's Lake Monroe in southern Indiana. It's in Bloomington, where IU is, if anyone knows that school.
Mhm.
I've never been there. I have a good idea how it's going to set up. I just got to go in there, and I'm assuming they're all going to be shallow and the water's 4 foot high like that. I don't
Is there
think
like
too many
bank
fish.
grass, bushes, buckbrush? What do you got? What's the terrain like? I mean, pine trees. What is it, man? Like shore
I've
grass?
never been on that lake, but there's a
Can you
lake about an
Google-
hour.
Can you Google Earth it to take a look at the
Oh
shore?
yeah, I'm
line?
gonna
What do I
Google
have?
it
Yeah.
here probably tomorrow and what's the next day? Wednesday. So I'll get that taken care of, and I'm just co-angling, so I just get in the boat and throw whatever I throw behind that person. So we're gonna see what happens. It'll be interesting.
Cool, man. Good
All right,
luck,
we're
bro.
back. We're back
So what's up with the raccoons? Why don't you want them to die?
because. All right, you want to go back? We got a lot going on here.
Because you got to give
I
us
know.
more than that, man. You popped up out of your seat. You're about to wrestle with your dad over, with a gun
Because
in his hand.
yesterday I was working on the boat last night, and I mentioned, I saw a group of little baby raccoons.
Okay.
And I follow him in the woods. And if you watch my Instagram story, I got close to him, kind of developed a relationship with him. But, my parents,
A relationship?
they love their garden, okay? And they
Mm.
think that the coons are going to hurt their garden. So they're going to murder, basically, a family of raccoons if they get a chance. And I'm just not happy about that.
What if there was a deer eating your garden?
Same thing, man. I saw 2 fawns yesterday. And here's the kicker. Here's what pisses me the most off.
It
So
was like
this morning,
Disney with that story. Disney World.
This
Disney.
morning I wake up, I look out the back, and there's a big tom in the backyard. I go to Dad, where's the shotgun? I run down here, look for a shotgun. I can't find a shotgun. They put all the guns away, right? I'm
It's in
like,
the safe. You got.
I'm
your
like,
kid
I'm like, you're gonna shoot a raccoon, but I can't shoot a turkey?
Is it spring gobbler season?
Yeah, whatever it is. It's my land, and I'm hungry. Okay?
It's my land and I'm hungry.
That hold up.
You're all over the map, bro.
If I want to provide for my family and shoot a turkey, I will.
Right.
All right. Anyways.
Fair enough, man.
But the raccoons, come on, leave them alone. They ain't hurt nothing.
Just the squash and cucumbers and zucchini and strawberries. They are kind of cute. I mean, raccoons.
They are very cute. I tried to get one because I always wanted a pet crow and a baby raccoon as a pet, and I thought it'd be so.
How long?
Cool.
Where did you get the idea for the pet crow?
It's been years, man.
Yeah.
Since I was 8, 9, 10, I always wanted a little crow.
Crows are cool.
And would love to have a raccoon. And I tried to get close to the babies, but man, they climbed up a tree, dude, 70 feet up in the air. Like I couldn't get to them.
Right on. This is fascinating.
I think they're pretty cool, man. I think
they are.
I think
it's amazing.
Yeah. So anyway, where do we go from here?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh,
we got Sean Lai coming in the house. We got
yeah.
Gary.
Let's bring Sean on. I want to talk about the experience with Sean. Gary's going to be coming out a little bit, talk to, and then but a little later tonight, let's hear about your week, Eric, as well. Okay.
Sure.
Fair enough. Let me see if I can get this right. There he is.
There he is.
Oh, what's up, man?
Ah, man.
Not much. How are you?
Sean in the
Dude.
house.
So listen, I called Sean to tell him the directions and time. What was it? Friday night, at like 8 o'clock at night, and he's got a big 5 in the morning. Guess what he was doing?
What was he
Fishing.
doing? No way.
It's
I love
awesome.
it, man. He's diehard.
Sean,
we were at the pond fishing when you called, so I was like trying to get off of it. I was like, man, my jig's still sitting there. Like we gotta move it.
dude, Sean impressed me a lot. He's a lot like Eric in many ways, but I'm not going to say we'll get to the bad stuff later, but the good things were like your SUV and how you had it like prepared to travel and fish. And
Right on.
dude, Eric, I wish if I had time today, I was going to try to download some of the content, but he's got, how many rods did you have in your SUV? Do you know?
I don't know. Probably upwards of 30, maybe.
Yes,
Nice.
30 rods in his SUV, all lined up on top like a rack.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
Tim
awesome.
Maynard just nicknamed you the Asian sensation. I love it.
And so, and I always knew that Sean kind of had long hair. So we're out there, and he had it all like wrapped up in his hat. And then next thing I look, he took it down. And he looks at me, he's like, "Dude, what do you think of this?" I'm like,
nice. He's like Hercules.
"Dude, you got like."
Dude, let it flow, man. Let it flow.
That's
Let
awesome.
that flow, bro. That's crazy.
Dude,
I look like my sister if I do that, right?
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
Sean, you're a trip.
Little
Sean, we
ridiculous.
had fun. No, listen. So we're out on Little Sturgeon, and the wind was like coming in northeast at like 15 to 20, and it was windy. And I go to Sean and I go, "Bro, we got to go to a different launch, right?" So I make him get in his car again. He follows me, 20 minutes to the next ramp, and we get out there, and we got to go across the bay in big waves, dude. You rode like a champ, dude. Didn't
Yeah.
even Monster in hand or whatever you were drinking, ready to go.
I think I had like I had like an energy drink in my hand, and then I was like squeezing something between my legs. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be a rough ride.
Yeah.
Well, how was the fishing, man? How was the fishing? Get to
talk
it.
to us about it, man.
Yeah, no, the fishing was great. You know, like, well, we were bed fishing the whole time, and Travis
that's
got
so
some
awesome.
crazy secret tricks, and he's like, yo, yeah, use your flogger, get on your knees and use the flogger in one hand and the fishing pole in the other. I'm like, dude, I don't know how, like, what are you talking about? Like he's fishing with his hand behind his back. And I was like, I don't have long arms, one, and I'm pretty top heavy. So if I lean over this water, I'm going in.
Yeah, Travis is like a spider monkey. He's
Dude, 100%.
He's gangly, man. He's got those pipe cleaner legs, like they're bendable and flexible, and his arms are like 7 foot long each. So he's got reach, dude. He can do it all, man. It's crazy.
He was doing that for like half an hour on one fish. I was like, man, I couldn't do that for like 3 minutes. I'd be sweating and dying, man.
Nah,
that's dedication, man.
My
I thought
body-
he'd be like flogging for you, but he was flogging for himself. That's crazy.
no, dude.
Great job, Travis. 30 minutes on a fish you wanted, and you got Sean
All right.
lie on your boat. You suck. Let's talk about bad things about Travis. That's one of them. Sean drives 5 hours, and you're flogging an individual fish for 30 minutes. What the F? Come on, dude. Really?
We did a lot of flying around. He put me on so many fish, though. Yeah, he put me on so many
he's ridiculous.
Fish.
Nah, he's a great side fisherman. No question, man. If he can do it for Roland Martin, he can do it for you.
Yeah, no. Like, he'll be like, oh, yeah, there's one. I'm like, I don't know what you're looking at. Like,
Exactly.
What do you see? He's like, just that little bit, like a little 3-inch square rock. So I'm like, man, you're crazy. Like, I can't see that.
It's so crazy how they blend in, man. It's unbelievable. You don't think there's a fish there, but there is. Yeah, he's
Right,
Hawkeye when it comes to them small eyes, man.
Well, what I liked about when they announced it, I was planning on coming to Wisconsin at that time. So I thought, well, I'm going to jump into this tournament because I really like the Wisco Singles Series. So you're fishing by yourself. There's 120 other anglers. Okay, so you're competing against 120 guys, and you got nobody else in the boat to deal with, and it's just you and the fish. So it's a really cool, I think, tournament trail that I've never experienced before. And so sight fishing to me is one of my strengths. It's something I like totally enjoy to do during the tournament. Now, fun fishing, I just want to let you guys know, I really try to not bother those fish when I'm fun fishing. I'll do a day of sight fishing and get it out of my system for the year. I'm not one of those guys that are out there every day sight fishing. But when it's a tournament, and I've always said this, I don't care if you're in Florida or Texas or Wisconsin. If there is fish spawning, and you can see them, you're going to win that tournament seeing the fish versus a guy set up throwing a chatterbait grass trying to hope for a bite. It's true. And I've learned this from a buddy of mine, Bink DeSera. I don't know if you guys know him. He told me this years ago. He used to fish on the Elite Series. He's like, if you can see a fish if there's fish on beds in a big tournament, you better be looking at them if you want to win. And I find that to be the truth in every single event, especially up here in the Great Lakes. If you're not looking at those fish, it's not going to happen for you. And so I knew that going in that the winning pattern was going to be sight fishing. But guess what? It's almost the end of June. Can you believe that, first of all? Isn't that crazy that we're almost in July?
Crazy.
Like
flying, dude.
It's very sad, actually. It pisses me off every morning. I wake up and it's a day later. Like I get mad. That's the problem. As soon as I wake up, I'm pissed. That's the next day. You know what I mean? I just wish we could freeze time right now. Enjoy the spring, for Christ's sakes. Anyways,
Wait a minute. If you're conditioned, shouldn't you be happy and blessed when you say, I'm alive? You got less than a year. So, I mean, maybe it's tomorrow, your last day. So you got to wake up and go, damn, I'm alive.
I actually thought yesterday when I was out there fishing and running, when I ran north later on the day, I'm like, I think this might be it. I said, this would be the way to go. But then I'm thinking, I'm just going to like have a heart attack here on the boat as I'm running and just And then what happens? Then I'm all freaking out, you know?
I'm not laughing
So-
at you. It's my wife dancing in the background, man. So that's my mermaid. My mermaid's in the house, man. So
Dude,
anyway,
this is
sorry about
crazy.
that. Go ahead.
This is a crazy live already.
So
Parents
you thought it
shoot
was
raccoons.
you
Anyway,
would not be upset if it was your last day fishing with Sean. That's pretty cool.
well, the day after,
What?
during the tournament, I thought I might die. Anyways, where were we?
Sight
Well,
fishing
well,
is the
take it-
dominant
time out.
pattern
Yeah,
way to
Wait a
win.
minute. Wait. Why did you think you might die? Why did you think you might die during the tournament? That's an odd thought to have.
Because I thought that if it's my time to go, this would be a great time to
Expand.
go. That's all.
Well, that's
Oh, I'm
different
glad
than
I could think of it.
saying, okay, if I died right now, it'd be okay. But thinking you're gonna die is different.
Yeah, I told you I got something messed up in my head right
You're
now.
just saying you were having so much fun. If it was your moment,
No, I wasn't having fun. I was
Okay.
struggling. I was
I got
working
you.
hard
I got
like
you.
I
I
always
got
do. Anyways, so
Yeah.
trying to find these fish, and bed fishing was definitely gonna be the pattern. But again, we're at the end of June, the tail end of the spawn. So there's not a lot of fish to be found this time of year, right? Those old males, those 4, 5, and when we bring Gary on, occasional 6-pounders are still going to be on beds. And that was my goal. You know, I got up here on Thursday and we had one decent day of sight fishing, you know, weather-wise. And so I looked at the extended forecast, and on Thursday, Sunday was showing rain and strong winds and cloud cover. And so I was preparing for that, meaning I knew I was going to try to find 6 to 8 good fish on bed. And then the problem was come tournament day is finding those fish, because I don't care if you put a GPS mark down. A GPS mark gets you in the area. It doesn't get you in that 4 inches where your bait needs to sit, and you need to work that bait properly, sometimes up to 45 minutes to get that damn fish to bite. And so I was, and I don't want to give away all the secrets tonight because I made a fabulous video about it. They'll be up, but Sean, feel free to share
Dude,
whatever you want while we're doing
Travis,
this.
that should be a Patreon.
Yeah, dude, your sight
Travis,
fishing
honestly,
skills are off
I mean,
the hook.
you should do a Patreon on sight fishing.
Yeah,
Look,
probably.
I haven't seen a lot of guys sight fish, but you got to be tops in the smallmouth game, man. I mean, we do largemouth a little different. I think there's 2 paths to roam there, but smallie, man, I think you got like crazy game. You should do a Patreon.
Might
You really
do that.
should.
We'll
I think people
we'll
would tune in.
share, we'll share a few things.
Why
for
don't
next
you
week.
guys sound off? Yeah. Well, yeah, of
Yeah,
course
let
you
me
can.
know.
But I mean, like an in-depth one would be really good. Let Travis know
Yeah.
if you guys want to see a Patreon on sight fishing.
Yeah, perfect.
Sounds good.
But
No.
literally, so I knew what I was up against, and the first day I found 4 plus pounders on beds. That was all day, and that's working hard. When you're sight fishing at the tail end of a spawn, you are working your butt off. The next 2 days were
Dude.
terrible conditions, wind, and Eric. Even in first of all, we have clear water on the Great Lakes, but there was an algae bloom, and there was a lot of wind that really mixed up the water. So a lot of areas I couldn't see below 8 feet. And so right there, I was at a disadvantage.
Dude, we had, yep, absolutely.
Late spawners, big fish are going to be just a little bit deeper normally.
Really
Because
interesting.
fish are getting beat up. Guys are up
Yeah.
there, Bass Elite say this is the top smallmouth place in the country.
Yep.
And so you got people coming up the door county constantly trying to do it.
Yeah. Me
Um,
and Scooter had a sight fishing tournament up on Smith Mountain Lake. We spent 2 days marking beds. So Friday, before our tournament, it was a 2-day tournament, by the way, 2 separate tournaments on Smith Mountain, Saturday, Sunday. Friday, we find out Missile Baits has a no entry fee tournament. No entry fee tournament with a couple grand first prize. There was like 165 boats. Let's just say the fish we had marked on beds, most of them were gone.
Why is that?
Because they were sight fishing. They had been.
Oh, there was a tournament before?
Yeah, the Friday tournament was the no fee entry. We should have probably fished the Missile Baits one because we had, I'm going into that tournament. I'm like, we're locked. We had our waypoints. We had the fish. We fluffed them up a little bit. I can talk about that if anybody wants to hear about how I do it. But No, we had them charged up, ready to go. And like first pitch, they would bite. And crazy thing is 90% of the fish were gone. And that's been our kind of year. I mean, it's been crazy, just crazy circumstances like that, man. But I mean,
no, I get it.
The missile baits one. Weather, man. It's the X factor, right?
I just had a brilliant idea. I thought I do want to do a Patreon about sight fishing, but I know it's a little bit late in the year. I was gonna have a guest. So my next Patreon is actually next Monday, and I was gonna have a special guest talk about a sneaky little bait. But maybe let me know in the comments if you guys want to hear do a sight fish, how I sight fish Patreon next week Monday, or if you think that's something we should save for later come next year. Because I know most of the country, they're done sight fishing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, Travis. Timing's everything on your Patreon. So probably better to have something topical people can go into the summer using. You know, I mean, I think more people tune in if they're going, okay, you do a sight fishing deal in, you know, February, March, and people are ready for their spawning season, you know.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, let me know.
I still think it's a great topic for you to do, man. I mean, you know, I don't know what's on the agenda for Patreons, but man, you'd kill it. That'd be a great one. I think you'd get a big audience. If you really pre-promoted it, I think you'd get a great audience for that.
Yeah, let's wait till next year on that one. But we can talk about whatever we want tonight in regards to that tournament. But so, Sean, talk about your experience, because you were very, I guess, new to sight fishing from a boat, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you were jacked up catching 2.5 pounders and trying to get him to bite. And I was like, damn, this is all it takes for this guy to, like, you know, have a little fun out here. And dude, I think you said a couple times, like, this is one of the best days you ever had fishing. And I thought it downright sucked. So walk me through that.
Travis, here's a note to you. You think almost every day sucks. I don't even know what gets you going, but let's hear about Sean.
No, I'll just, you know, like, if you bank fish Lake Michigan, especially when it's after the spawn or it's non-spawn. I went, like, you know, 7 months trying to catch a smallmouth on Lake Michigan, nothing. So I was just like, yeah, man, I'm pumped to catch one. I'm cool just hanging up there.
That's awesome, man.
No, but Travis got, like, super, like, interesting, I don't know, like, technique and, like, little tricks, you know, like his little boat spin and stuff. Trying to think what else. No, I mean, like, I guess he has a lot of knowledge about just general fish behavior, you know?
Trying to make them bite.
Right.
A lot of these fish were pressured. And you know, I was coaching you, and I probably was yelling more than coaching. But it was passion, you know what I mean?
100%, 100%.
It shouldn't. I go to him, I go to Sean, I go, Sean, if you make one more cast and you do not reel up exactly when I tell you and recast and you fish that again that way, I'm going to throw you off this boat. I couldn't stress enough, Sean. I go, Sean, reel up and cast again. You need to be 2 inches this way. And the dude wouldn't, like, listen for a while. He was just trying to work the bait. I'm like, you're not going to get bit. Throw this. You know what I mean, Sean? I was giving it to you, bro, but it was fun.
Yeah, no. It was well, the issue is that he put the you know, like, right where his boat is, right over the, you know, the side fish, which is great if you're leaning over like him with a flogger in one hand and a pole the other. But for me, I'm standing on the opposite side of his boat, you know, with the 6'10" rod, like, well, this is kind of next to your boat, you know, is this the right place? He's like, it's directly under my boat. I'm like, I don't know what you mean. But then he showed me, like, there's another fish he's trying to catch. He's got his whole arm and his reel, like, under the boat. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing, man? And he's like, watch this. You have to get it from the right angle, right? Like 10 seconds later, he's like, oh, I got it. I was like, all right, man, I guess that works, you know? But it's just, like, really odd things, but I thought it was super cool. Oh, and another thing that was cool, he can just unhook a fish whenever he wants. He's just like, yep, I don't want to bring that in. He just pulls it right out. When I pull on a hook, you know, it goes deeper.
Typically.
I can't get it up. Right. Yeah, no, it was just, you know, I think it was a lot of fun.
There was some peeps in the area, and we were trying to be low key. I hooked a couple, and I could shake them off pretty well right before they get out in the water there. We had a lot of, I mean, we had pretty fun experience because there was quite a few boats doing what we were trying to do. And I don't think guys were catching them, Sean.
Nope. I didn't see one other boat catch fish.
We were.
I mean, maybe they didn't want to, but I didn't see anybody pulling the fish.
Yeah.
And
You
then
don't
when we first
you don't
launched,
want to try to win practice for sure.
Well, Eric,
Yeah.
you have to weigh every fish that you find on the bed to know exactly what that fish weighs.
Smallies are different. You can catch them the next day, right?
You can catch them 2 minutes later.
You're not burning them. Fuck.
No.
That's so kooky. There's
So
so
you-
much more aggressive than a largemouth.
I could have
It
caught
seems, man.
that one that I lost.
Unbelievable.
Let's
Yeah,
talk
this is
about
what-
that one.
So
I go to Sean. I go to Sean. I go, this is a 4-pluser. I need to know the exact weight on this. You better catch him. I said, it's all yours. Go to town.
this thing fought like 40 some seconds, and it keeps running in the boat. I'm like, dude, this thing is like I don't know what to do. And I was just like fighting him. He's like go left, right, shoot out, go under the boat, and then he just like gets off the hook, and I was like, dude, that's the worst feeling in the world. Like,
I felt back. That might have been your personal best.
yeah. That would have been my PB. I was like, do we try it again? He's like, nope, you lost your opportunity. We're going the next one. I was like, all right, that's cool.
I just marked it. I go maybe 4 pounds. I did catch
you
that one.
did you catch him? Was he 4 pounds?
He was I want to say 4'2". Yeah.
Okay. Did he end up going to the weigh-in, or she?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So there you go, Sean. You did your job, man.
All right.
we're gonna get to the tournament itself because I'm gonna have Gary come on and talk a little bit about his experience as well during that event, and then I think what we'll do we'll kind of share our experiences as far as sight fishing, as far as later in the year, because there was actually quite a few good bags that were brought in, and there was a bunch of guys sight fishing, which I found was interesting. Go ahead, Eric.
So Travis, do you use that rod that you broke up at the Northeast tournament, and you shortened it? Remember we shortened it for you, and it became your dock skipper.
Yeah. Well, that'll be
your kind of bow and arrow
show.
rod.
That'll be a
Okay.
Patreon show.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I didn't bring that out with Sean,
Right.
but yeah,
He did bring it out.
I didn't. I did not.
He didn't.
He's got an extra shorty. We'll just leave it at that. His rod's really short.
I remember watching that video a couple years ago. Yeah,
Yeah. That was funny, man.
it's a good one.
We had some
Yeah.
good Instagram clips on
But
that.
no, Sean, dude, it was fun fishing with you. You're welcome back anytime. I think I mean it was a blast. It felt like we were old buddies, you know what I mean? So it was cool
Yeah.
having you come out there, and
That's so
You
cool.
brought-
I only wish I
you
could have
brought a
been
lot
there,
of gear,
man.
Eric. You reminded
Yeah.
we
Oh,
had
God, man. I
we
feel
had
you,
all
bro.
this top of the line rods, the carrying case for the rods.
Yeah,
He's
we
got
know how
a
you
fanny
like to
pack.
fiddle rod. Hell yeah,
Dude's
bro.
got a fanny pack. He's got a fanny pack.
That's like the speed. That's like the speed lure thing, man. You don't want to have to be digging through your shit in somebody else's
Dude.
boat, man. You like preload your shit when you know
As-
when you dialed in. You got to
As
preload.
dialed in as he was, how many times did I say there's a fish here? And I'm sitting there for 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, where are you at, bro? You got your drop shot? And what were you
Probably
doing?
about every fish, was probably went along the lines of that. But then eventually he's like, your drop shot's too long. And he just, like he grabs it, bites it off with his teeth, ties a knot on it, and he's like, there. And the drop shot, it's literally like 2 inches, long. And I'm like, I've never drop shotted with something like 2 inches, He's like, with that, and you just got to drop it down there. And I was like, okay. I hooked into that fish, and it threw my tungsten away. I was like, okay, that's great. Nice knot, Travis.
I was in a hurry, Joe. First of all, that was your first mistake. You just
Is
grabbed my
Travis-
lead I had
Sean,
sitting there, okay?
Is Travis a little frenetic? He's frantic, right? He gets frantic on the boat a lot. He's got this crazy frenetic energy, right?
Yeah, I think it's just his intensity. Like
Yeah.
he's at 120% when
Yeah.
he's fishing, and like I admire that. Like that's really cool because I'm just like, yeah, I'm cool if I catch something.
Sure.
I'm just out here to fish and enjoy. Enjoy company and being out in the environment. Of course, like if it was competition, it'd
Sure.
be different. But
Right.
I think it's cool with that. With his intensity, he's like, yeah, we got to get that fish right now. And I'm like, it's on a bed, man. Like, where's it gonna go?
Time, bro. Time. Efficiency on the water. Efficiency on the water, man. 10 seconds add up every day.
That's right. I wanted to cover water. We did. We covered a lot. You know, what was cool with Sean is I had some fish in the southern bays I found 2 days prior. And so I only had 4 that I felt were decent. Oh, Sean, how pissed was I when my 5-pounder was gone?
Oh my god, he was irate. He was so pissed. He's like, I need that. You know, like I think he called Cuda or something at one point. He's like, man, we gotta figure this out.
Yeah, Cuda was up fishing.
You saw Cuda?
Well, I talked to him on the phone. He was up there fishing too that week.
Yeah. He's in the comments here. He's talking about it. But I mean, I thought you might have seen him on the water. That'd been really
No, I didn't get a chance to see him, but we talked on the phone, and he didn't have any real big ones either. You know, he was up in the northern part of Door County, just fun fishing, and he had some 3.5s and stuff like that. But I was really, I needed that 5-pounder, and I felt so the day before. I knew it was a big fish, but I needed to know how much it actually weighed. And so I fished that 5-pounder for 45 minutes before I could get him to bite. He was very educated. He didn't want to be hooked again. You know what I mean? He knew what was going to happen if he bit that bait. And finally, I was able to get him to bite. And after that, after 20 minutes, it becomes, I'm going to sit here until I catch you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to leave. And so that's one thing about smallmouth fishing. You normally can always get them to go. There's some tricks to it. And I pissed him off plenty of times, but he just wasn't feeling it until I did something secretive that I would love to share on the Patreon. And I don't think Sean even knows exactly what I did there with that fish, but it works. And so
so why did you use that technique earlier in the 45 minutes? You're saying you got to,
because it took me a while to rig it up. I was lazy, dude.
Oh, when you have a rod,
end of the day too.
I got you. Say kind of rig.
Yeah, so I had to re-rig, get set, and I don't want to share this at all right now. But if I told you what I did, it would blow your freaking minds. Everyone on this show, and I'll tell you, Eric, after this, and Alex.
Right, cool.
Let's go.
You guys are gonna freak out. You guys will freak out. You'll be like,
nice.
No freaking Eric. I can't wait to tell you this. So, anyways, so I get him to bite.
Drop shot in the frog. It's crazy. It works though, guys.
Yeah. So I get him in the boat. I'm like, damn, this is a big ass fish. So now I'm like, this is where I'm starting. And it was too soon to mark the bed with some other techniques of mine. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go back and check him out, Saturday. And so Sean and I pulled up in that area. Actually, we were there in the morning, Sean, remember? And there was that boat creeping up on me. Feel free to tell people what I say to others that are fishing next to me, because you pretty much heard it all that day.
I mean, I just thought you were talking. You said you were talking to yourself or talking to the fish, but he was just talking shit, and I was like in the back, like, is he talking to me? Or like, what's he doing? He's just up there talking a bunch of shit to everybody, and I was like, but he was like basically whispering it to himself, yes. But then I was like, hey man, like, who are you talking to? Like, you say something to me? He's like, no. I just talk to myself sometimes.
What was his best one-liner? Do you remember any of the one-liners he was throwing out?
His best one-liner? I mean, I think his best one-liner is when we were loading the boat. And he's like, I live for this shit, because, he pulls up and someone's over there trying to, load their boat up. And he's like, watch this. He just, jumps off, runs in the truck. He gets his bibs off and he's back. And then, there's another boat next to him in the ramp. And he's like, I love it when people think there's no space. And I just creep it like an inch next to their truck. And he's like, boom, out of there. And, he's the fastest loader, unloader I've ever seen. So
yeah, that was funny, Sean. I go, this is the best part of fishing. Showing these chumps what's up. This is how you load a boat and get the fuck off the ramp. You know what I mean?
Some people might actually be helping the chump, but I get it. You call him the chump. So I know, man. You're all about you're the grinder, man. People.
No, Sean, we had fun though. But no, when that 5-pounder was gone, I was pretty irate. I was pissed because I knew that was like, I knew the kind of weight I was going to get. And I knew that conditions, well, I thought at the time during the tournament, it would be hard to locate new fish based on the weather conditions. So when that 5-pounder was gone, you know, it drained a lot of energy out of me because I was spun out a little bit.
So was there a post spawn pattern where there might have been 5-pound fish that would have been all?
You know, Eric, there is
strategy, or
there is.
I mean, is that the only option to win? I don't know what's going on up there.
No, but I'm going to be honest with you, Eric. I am not the best post spawn smallmouth guy out there. Okay? That's my weakness when it comes to smallmouth fishing.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with conditions, and we're going to have Gary on here in a little bit to kind of share with that, but. Things
did Gary sight fish, or did Gary do a post spawn smallmouth?
We're going to find out. I think he sight fished a little bit, but I really, how should I put this? Post spawn fish change so much daily based on weather and current.
Okay.
That I give me my summer pattern. You know what I mean? And when you got a post spawn, when you got fish on beds, fish that are done, you know, they're kind of like, they're not really. They'll be grouped up weather dependent, not pattern summertime dependent. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, harder to target. I get it.
Yeah. I didn't want nothing to do with that. And it goes back to you can see them, that's what you do. And if that's your strength, that's what you do.
Sure.
Right on.
What did you think it was going to take to win going into it?
22.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did it take?
23. 24 maybe.
24. So what place did you come in?
9th.
Okay. Top 10? Not bad.
21.
But you were going for winning. I get it.
Yeah.
No, I think after that 5-pounder, after we realized it was gone, well, we searched a long time for it. You know, we were just spinning around in a circle. He's like, we got to find it. We got to find it. We got to find it. Like, all right, you know. And so we're just looking for, you know, like 15 minutes trying to find this fish. He's like, it's gone. It's not there anymore. And so he's like, let's go north. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And we go on the Green Bay, and probably not out there, maybe 100 yards, and these waves, just huge rollers. He's up there. And I was like, oh man, like this is going to be like this the whole ride up, you know, like this is going to be rough. You know, we do from probably like 100 yards, 150 yards. And he's like, yeah, it's going to be a really long ride going up. He's like, let's turn around. But yeah, that was pretty intense. The weatherman kind of screwed us.
Yeah, they always do.
Of course.
That's the tough part about those big bodies of water, man. It can be rural. Not my scene, man.
It turned out like it was a pretty nice day, though. We had a lot of residual waves. So anytime you're fishing the Great Lakes, if you got strong winds in the morning and it does calm down, or even like Lake Ontario's notorious for this, you could have a strong wind for a day or two, and then the next day it's dead calm at the boat ramp, and you want to head out to Lake Ontario, and you get out to the mouth, dude, and there's still 6-footers rolling in.
Are you kidding me? Residual. Because it takes that long. It's like a 6-foot wave.
With Lake Ontario, because it runs
so nuts.
west to east, and predominantly it's south or west winds, those waves don't stop for days, it seems.
That's crazy. What the hell?
That is weird. So, Travis, I know you said Sean was a good trooper with the big waves, but have you ever had like a client or a co-angler like get freaked out during the middle of a trip and want to go back in or anything crazy like that?
Yes.
What do you do?
Yeah, you tell them to suck it up and they're going to catch a smallmouth whether they like it or not.
Telling me they're not comfortable, I'm not going.
Is that more of a co-angler versus a guide trip thing? If it's a guide trip, they're going in. But if it's a co-angler, they might have to suck it up a little bit.
Oh, if it's a co-angler, we're going.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Dude, I was laughing my ass off. You know, like, just because I was like, you know, like, I trust him. He guides on big water. So I was like, he's not going to kill me. Like, I hope he won't, you know. So, you know, like, we're going out there, and after, you know, like, after the wave just kept getting bigger and bigger, and I was like, all right, whatever. And I just started laughing, and he looks over at me. He's like, what? I was like, this is some intense shit, man. You know, like.
It's kooky, man.
No, but overall, it was, you know, it was a great trip, and, you know, glad and lucky that he, you know, he invited me to go up
Man, you've been such a great supporter, man. So
Yeah,
I was
dude,
stoked
seriously,
to hear
Sean.
that.
That's
man.
awesome.
I
Man,
appreciate
that's
you.
awesome.
Welcome. You're welcome back anytime. It was fun. I told you we're gonna get you. I'll get you back up in the summertime when we catch a bunch of them. You know.
Yeah, I'm down
For
for that.
sure.
Oh, one thing. So I was using a dark sleeper, right?
Hmm.
Behind him, he was just trolling, riding around, and like I hook into something. I'm like, hey, I got a fish. And I was like, I got one. I got one.
I didn't
I
hear
got
you.
one. Yeah, and I said it like 10 times, and he's just like trolling motors on like 10. I'm like, bro, I got a fish. Like I gotta, can you stop or something? He's like, oh, you got a fish? And I was like, well, not
Oh
anymore. It
no,
just came off.
hey, hey,
So he goes,
Sean. Even when he knows I have a fish, if I'm fishing with him, he's dragging that 5 pound on the St. Regis when we're fishing with Will for eons. There's no, I mean, it literally. I land them, but it takes me 10 times. He doesn't care. He knew you had a fish, by the way. He heard
No,
you
I didn't.
100%. Man.
No, I didn't,
Travis,
Eric.
don't play crazy
I
with
wouldn't
me,
have done
man.
that
I
to
know how
Sean,
you
man.
are.
Come on. Sean doesn't catch that many. No. I didn't hear him.
he goes, I have, he's like, I don't have good hearing. I was like, which ear? He's like, both of them. I was like, all right.
No, I told you my flogger. When I
It's
put the flogger in the water, I said that noise. I couldn't hear you.
You weren't.
You got the flogger in the water?
You don't have the flogger.
All
You're
right.
on the trolling motor.
I don't remember then.
Yeah. You don't remember now. Okay. Nah, but no, it was fun. And then there's the one fish I fought for super long. One I lost. The other one I fought it and we were able to land it. But when he reached in, so this is weird. Maybe it was just my glasses, but it looked like he was wearing a bright orange glove. And so afterwards, I was like, "Were you wearing a glove?" And he's like, "No, man. What are you talking about?" I was like, "Oh, it's like you've been out in the sun so long, your hands look orange."
Sean, you didn't know what I was doing, bro.
He's got I don't know. I was just like,
are you wearing did you have an orange glove in your hand? I'm like, no. What are you talking about?
I thought it like 100%. I was like, I thought he had like a puncture, resistant glove or something.
I had some orange in my hand. It wasn't a glove.
Yeah. No.
Anyways,
And Travis's hands are really, really delicate. I noticed, like, he doesn't do any manual labor, so it's other than fishing, and so his hands are really like the
my
skin
hands are sensitive, Eric.
It's yeah, they're very, very sensitive hands. Like you use Jergens lotion and stuff, and so when he gets out there, he doesn't want to lip land those smallies because he'll get bloody thumbs. So, like, he's like, "How come your thumbs aren't hurting up at the St. Lawrence?" I'm like, "Dude, because actually, I use my hands." Like,
Okay, that makes sense. I did see him.
No, he had an orange
belly
glove
lift.
on, I'm sure. He's good at the belly lift. He can do the belly lift pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's real good at the belly lift, but I just
yeah.
went straight for the lip. But it was overall it was great.
You like that? You like that dark sleeper?
Yeah, I do. I do like that dark sleeper. It's good just covering water, especially if I'm like fishing from the bank or something. I can just fan cast that or
Sean, you were throwing some other little swim bait when you had that one follow. Remember, and I tried to circle back and find where he was living. What was that bait?
That was an 1/8 ounce Okashira screw head or spin, whatever those jigs.
Oh yeah, man.
And then like a little white Hazardong shad. But I was just
that's the Zal Dangerous. That's
point,
the Zal Dangerous setup right there, bro. Chris Zaldane loved that dark sleeper. I mean, the Hasdong with the little Okashira screw head, man.
Mm-hmm.
But I couldn't reel in fast enough because his trolling motor was going so fast. So I had to like cast in front of him, like near his shoulder basically, and then reel in. And I'm like, man, I can't reel this fast. Like I should have brought a faster reel.
Yeah, like you're casting in front of the boat, and you get like
one
revolution, and the lure's right at the boat.
The goal was to locate fish on beds that day.
Right.
Yeah.
Not make random casts with weird baits that don't work.
There's nothing more painful than trying to find fish on beds for 2 days. Trust me, Sean. I feel your pain, man. It's brutal. It's brutal work.
My neck. So like my neck was hurting like the next day from looking down. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how he's like he can just do it all the time, and doesn't go see a chiropractor or anything.
Yeah, you
I'm
ain't
just
seeing
like,
shit.
he's bent over. Yeah, he's bent over. His neck's down under the boat and stuff. I'm like, man, you're intense, man. Like that's dedication, 100%.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's funny. Well, BTC's messaging me. He wants in on a little action here, maybe in a little bit. All right, Sean, listen, we're going to let you go. We're going to bring Gary on. Again, it was awesome fishing with you last Saturday. You're welcome back anytime, dude, for real. It was fun.
That's
Yeah, no, I
awesome,
really
man.
appreciate it.
And
Thanks,
thanks
bud.
for
Awesome
coming
stuff,
on,
man.
man.
Good stuff,
Very nice.
man.
Thanks, Alex.
Awesome,
Fantastic.
Sean. See ya.
All right,
ya.
we'll see you, Sean.
Peace out,
Thanks.
brother.
Well, there you go.
Woo.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, it was fun.
You got Sean on
Super.
the boat, man. That's fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, isn't
dude.
that crazy? Fun guy
That's
to fish
awesome.
with.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say, man? That's a way to
It
show.
was kind of it was a mixture between a guide trip / tournament mode. You know what I mean?
yeah, right.
So I really
exactly.
wanted them to catch these fish for me. I don't need to catch a bed fish, but I would like to weigh it. And so
Sure.
I really wanted him to get the feel for it. And he certainly held his own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were able to put some fish in the boat, so it definitely worked out.
Yep.
But let's talk about let's get Gary on, find out
Gary on, man.
his perspective. Gary,
Hey, how's it going, guys?
what's up, man?
Gary.
Hey,
Gary, you won 2 Wisco events, correct?
Yes,
Unbelievable.
2.
Wow.
both
You
of-
won the
both-
first one. You won when I took second 2 years ago on the Bay. Then you won an August event on the Bay last year,
Yes,
and then you almost. I mean, you knew you had a shot.
yeah, I was real close. I really needed one more 5-pound bite, and that would have did it for me. I had a 4-pounder that I tried to get out of the live well pretty much all day, and I just couldn't find that big fish.
Man.
Damn. So we
So-
talked a little bit going into the event. We kind of both knew that sight fishing was going to be the deal. Did all your fish come off of beds and sight fish?
Yes, everything that I weighed in did come off the beds. I did have a post-spawn pattern going, and I did try it later on in the day. In fact, I wasn't able to catch anything doing that, but in practice, I did really well throwing an A rig and also throwing a Ned rig on post-spawn fish that were actually on weed lines.
Mm.
Huh.
They had moved just out from where they had been bedding. There was a little bit of deeper weed, and they were in them weeds, and I was able to run an A rig over the weeds, and then right where the rock met the weeds, I could throw a Ned rig and just let it sit there, and one would pick it up. There wasn't a lot of fish doing that, but I was able to get some quality fish. In fact, it's Saturday before the tournament. I've got this one little area. I stopped in there and I threw an A rig for maybe 5 minutes, and I had a 4.87. I'm like, okay, they're still here. I caught some there the weekend before, so I left it be. Well, I made a long run up north. I mean a long run. I ran 40 miles one way to 3 bed fish. 3 bed fish. I got them 3 fish. About halfway back, there was a little bay that I stopped in, and there was 2 boats in there, and I'm like, wow. I had took off. Let me start on this. I took off Wednesday because I saw the forecast. It was glass calm on the bay, which never happens. And I had originally planned on taking Friday off, but when I saw the forecast, I switched my vacation days to Wednesday. I went out and just strictly sight fished, looking for big betters because the conditions were prime. So I went into this little bay and I found 3 fish in there. One was like a 4 1/4, 4.5, and then there was an absolute giant in there. It was 6-pounder. And it was deeper water. But for whatever reason, this late in the spawn, like Travis said earlier, 6 to 10 feet of water is where the bigger ones are going to. That's where you're going to find the real big ones. The real shallow ones, everybody sees them, everybody picks on them. They get really, really hard to catch. So if you can find them deeper ones, you got a lot better chance of 1, them staying, and 2, being able to hook them. So I pulled into this little bay day of the tournament, and there was 2 boats in there, and I'm like, man, them fish are going to be gone. So I pulled up to this maybe 20 yards from this one boat, and he's calling. There's a big boulder in the water, and that's where the 4 1/4 was. And I'm like, you must have just caught that fish. So I kind of pulled away from him. I went over by my other waypoint. That fish was there. I got him. It was a 4.5.
Dude, hold on here. That's one of my favorite feelings in the tournament. When you come into a group of boats that are sight fishing and you go right to your mark, dude, and you jack on that fish in front of everybody, dude.
Yeah. So I got the second one thinking that I got the first one. So he drifted off looking for another fish. And I said, well, I'm going to go over there and see if he got that fish. I go over there and that fish is sitting there. And it was 10 feet from. So he drifted away from it. First pitch in there, I caught it. And he looked back at me and just shook his head. That one up. So I threw him. Now I got my limit. Okay. So I go over by the other one and it is gone. So I'm just getting ready to pull up my trolling motor and I look down and there's that 6-pounder. I mean, literally 10 feet either way. I never would have saw it. I didn't know this fish was there. I was just getting ready to go to I had a 5-pounder marked out on the reef. That was my next stop. And I looked down and there's that 6-pounder. I dropped that drop shot down there. First drop, he took it. I netted it. And that guy, 50 yards from me, I pulled in there and pulled a 4 1/4, 4 1/2, and a 6-pounder right up from
Oh my God. That's crazy.
I went out to the reef out by Strawberry Islands and I had found that 5-pounder on Wednesday and I didn't know if it was still going to be there or not. I rolled up and it's there. I'm like, wow. That one took about 5 minutes to catch. I probably dropped on him 3 or 4 times. I missed him once. And that must have made him angry enough to where the next drop I caught him.
Wow. What'd you weigh in, Gary?
23, just right at 23 pounds.
And what place did you come in?
4th.
Damn. And what won it?
24.221 or something.
Man. So you were right at 23?
Yeah, I had right at 23. I needed one more 5-pounder and I had it.
Dang. Did you see another 5-pounder or no?
Not. So where I made my mistake is I was in the back of my mind, I had them post-spawn fish going.
Yeah.
So I ran all the way back south thinking I could get 1 5-pounder because I still had 4 hours to fish. I'm thinking, well, if I can get one more big bite down there. Well, I never did get it. In fact, I never called the rest of the day.
Wow. What would you have done instead of making that run down south?
And ran more of my bedfish areas.
Okay.
And places that I didn't look on Wednesday, and probably could have found another big fish.
Wow, crazy, crazy decisions, man. Decisions is tough.
Yeah.
I had with Sean and I, we expanded on the fish in the southern bays that we had, and we had plenty of 4 right at 4-pounders. So by 9 o'clock. And I was, I pulled up to my main spot and there was like 3 or 4 boats around and I pulled up real close to a boat and I thought I was going to get into a little confrontation because they started saying something to me and I didn't recognize who they were. Anyway, it was funny. I go, what was that? I can't hear too. I have bad hearing. That's not an excuse. And I go, what's he said like 3 times to me. I'm like, what? He goes, oh, we must be in the right area, huh? I'm like, oh. No, I just, there's a couple fish around here. We all kind of messed around and I was able to grab 2 decent fish. And then I went further in to the bay where Sean and I ended the day and was able to get a couple other key fish that Sean and I both saw or perhaps caught. And so by 9 o'clock, I was sitting at about 19.5, 20 pounds. And I then went north from there. It was a calm day. I felt comfortable. One thing I don't like to do is to run further. When you have a decent bag, to put another 40 to 60 miles on your boat on the Great Lakes with fish in the live well, especially during the spawn, it's kind of scary because, keeping those fish alive is critical. It's a 1/4 pound penalty, in these events. So, but I had to do it. I had to take that chance. And so I ran north with these fish and I got to one area and there was a dozen boats in that area. Now, during practice, there was 60, 70 fish on beds in this deal. most of them were 3 to 3.5 pounds. And listen, I couldn't catch 60 fish that day. Like I had to pick and choose which ones I thought were big, mark them. I only found 2 that were 4.5, right? And so I had those 2 marked. One was gone, but the other one was, again, Gary, just like you, bunch of boats around me. I went right to that 4.5. I was able to pitch to it a couple times and it bit. And so that got me where I needed to be, but I was still a little short. I had like a 315 in the live well. And so I made another run even further north, and same scenario. Dude, there was a guy, I don't know if you've seen him, Gary, in the Wisco event. He was in a aluminum boat with like a 75 or a 115 on.
I did see him, yes.
That dude was up north.
No way.
I'm like, how in the hell, bro?
He's
I
lucky.
didn't say that to him. I thought it was just a guy out fun fishing until I got behind him and realized he's netting these fish and keeping them. I'm like, what? Yeah. Dude ran that boat way up there.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. I mean, it was a decent day. It was a decent day, but
It was.
but
And then
still.
I ran 65 miles an hour all the way to that first area, so it was good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was calm conditions, good. But so I pulled up there where that guy was, and there was, I think there was a couple guide boats out there too. And the day I found that 4.5 pounder, it was big wave action. I just saw his little bed that he was hanging on. These fish, awesome, Aaron. There you go. Little bed about this big, and that's where your bait had to be. But he was patrolling right on it the day I found him. Today, or yesterday in the tournament when I got to that spot, that fish was circling 10 to 15 feet around it, and he would not commit. And it was super shallow. Things looked totally different when it was glass calm in the area I was. I was like, man, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get him to bite. But I kept throwing. I actually have the bait right here, the white Gajo Spirit Shad 4-inch. I kept throwing that in there. And this fish, every fish is a little different. This fish, I actually had to throw that bait towards him. You know, normally you want to fish it right on the bed, but I had to throw this bait towards where the fish was and then bring it to him and catch his attention. And then he would follow it because I would be swimming it back to his bed. And then he would follow it to his bed and he would nose down on it, but then he would, you know how they just back up and do another circle. And that's why I was like, man, this is going to be a long shot. But at the same time, I was like, I got 4 or 5 hours. I'm going to catch this fish. And so one of the keys I can tell you about smallmouth fishing and sight fishing is if you got the time, you're going to be able to get that fish to bite eventually. If he's not scooting away and he's staying in that zone. Now, granted, a roamer that's going out 10 feet, it's not the best scenario, but he's going to be catchable. And so I was able to finally trick him, get him in the boat. And I ended up going to another area, and I just started, and Gary, I took your tip. I started throwing that A-rig a little bit to cover water while I was looking. Mm-hmm. And I had one follow, and it's hard to tell. I thought he was big. He followed me off of a bed, so I located that bed. I threw a net in there and caught him. And I went around another area, and that's where I ran into Caleb. And I think Caleb did. What place did he take?
Well, he had 22 something, so he would. Okay. I think he might have finished 5th or 6th.
5th or 6th. So I saw him coming towards me. Caleb's a buddy of mine. I tried to get him on the Smallmouth Crush podcast as one of the top smallmouth anglers in the country because he is, Gary.
He's really good fisherman.
He's one of the studs, but he's a little, I don't know if he's camera shy or he doesn't want to give up the secrets, but he's a good buddy of mine, but he knows how to catch fish. And I didn't know it was him. I guess he's got a new Vexus. And so he was about 80 yards from me. I knew there was a boat there, but I come up to another bed and I lock on. I'm like, oh, that's a big one. And there was some algae floating in the water, and I couldn't really see where the bed was. And then all of a sudden, this guy in the boat's yelling at me. I'm like, what's this dude want? And he goes, hey, man, if I found out it was him, he's like, yeah, I thought that was you. I heard you talking to yourself back there. I figured that was you. Because I was so pissed at the dead fish. So I thought it was a giant, Gary. I thought it was 5-6 pounds. And I worked him for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I couldn't get him to bite. And Caleb's right there because he's got a few other fish. And he just pulled the 412 right not too far from me. And so he's actually giving me some tips on how to catch this fish, which I listen. You know what I mean?
Did it
It was
work?
pretty cool. Yeah, he was right there, dude. He's like, try this or do that, or you know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. Finally, I give him the bite, dude. I hook him, and it's in his fucking belly.
Oh,
Right? I bring him up, and he's foul hooked, right? And I'm like, fuck.
dang. But put him back. You catch him again.
I know. I'm looking at him though, and I'm thinking, man, he's like borderline, maybe bigger than the one I got. But I already tried 45 minutes, and I was pissed off that happened. So I chucked him back and just fucking left. And he's like, "What are you doing, bro?" I go, "Fuck that fish. I'm out." And so I ran to another area. Well, off of Hat Island, Gary, in that zone, and I tried to fish for some post spawners there, and that's kind of where I ended the day, and that was it for me. 21 and a half is the best I could do, but I love that event, Gary. That's fun.
I'll tell you what, finishing 9th against that group of fishermen on that body of water, that is nothing to be ashamed of. Let me tell you, there are some big time smallmouth studs that fish that tournament.
Yeah, there was a lot of guys that dominate out there.
Yes,
we're fishing it. But I really enjoy that sight fishing type of an event. It's
you know, Travis, there's sight fishermen and then there's sight fishermen. A lot of people think they're good sight fishermen, but you know as well as I do, reading that fish's body language means everything.
Sure.
You know, and there's certain things that we do to get them fish to bite that most people wouldn't even understand.
Yeah, that's true. It ain't as easy, especially late spawners.
Especially that have been pressured.
A lot of you guys don't realize a spawning bass, a male, an older male on the Great Lakes, 4 or 5, and obviously 6 pounders, Gary. They'll sit on those beds. They'll guard it like their life depends on it for weeks.
Weeks.
It's crazy. Isn't it?
That's crazy.
Well, Caleb, I talked to Caleb at the weigh, and he told me fish that he marked 3 weeks earlier.
Yep.
That was there, and he caught it in that tournament, which was that 412 you're talking about.
Unbelievable.
But not
wow.
was still there. 412.
Unreal. That's crazy.
And that's what I love about those type of events, because if you could put your time in, Gary, there was 25, 26 pounds of fish on beds that someone could have grabbed if they knew where they were.
I wish I'd have had more time to get out there and practice, and the conditions to be a little bit better. You know, I took off Wednesday, and I got out a little bit Saturday, but I had 4 or 5 more areas that I would have loved to went and checked, because if you got a 5-pounder in 5 or 6 different areas, you know, you're at 26. You're at 26 pounds. You know, you find that 6-pounder.
Yeah. What was really cool, Gary called me the day before the event, and you were just we're talking through strategy, and we don't have to, I don't want to name the area, but really far away, you found some posts or some pre-spawners, some giant. Talk to me about that story, because that got my head that night. I was like, damn, I wonder if I missed the boat here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that area that I ran real far to, there was some, you know, high 4s on beds. And that's what I went and plucked off them 3 bedders. But when I was there the day before, there was females, pre-spawn females, swimming around in the shallows. I've probably seen no less than 20 of them that were looking to come up in bed, you know, dump their eggs. But I threw everything I had in the boat at them, and I could not get them to commit to a bait. I would throw near them, and they would swim the opposite way. But there's still pre-spawned fish on the bay that have not spawned yet. But they're the females, and they're educated, and they only had one thing on their mind, and that was to come up and dump their eggs. They were not there to feed. I did try some things the next morning when I went back. I tried making long casts with a spy bait. I tried a hair jig. I tried several of them things that would typically get clear water smallmouth to bite, and I could not get any of them even looking. Yeah. So after I made the long cast, I rolled up in there to see if they were still in there. Sure enough, they were up there swimming.
Really?
And then actually a couple of them were actually locked on beds with males doing their deed.
Yep.
Just,
smallmouth are some of the toughest to catch.
right. Especially the females when they only got one thing on their mind. And I don't know about anybody else that's watching, but in my theory on the green, once a female moves up onto that bed and that male and that female, unlike largemouth, you can get the female to bite. I can never get a female smallmouth to bite once she's on that bed with the male. I've never done it. In all the years.
Yeah, I totally have seen that happen. I agree with you. It's very rare. One thing that's cool about the Sturgeon Bay, the Door County area, if you guys that are not familiar with it, it runs basically, it's part of Lake Michigan. It's just called the Bay of Green Bay, which is a huge, massive bay. There's fish spawning 6-8 weeks ago, and there's fish that haven't even spawned yet, because the further up you get, the colder it gets to Lake Michigan, water temps. I mean, there's some areas that they spawn right away. You know the secret place, Gary.
Yeah,
Studs move in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They do. We won a tournament in there. You probably won a dozen tournaments in there.
About a 7.5 out of your back of your boat.
That's right.
Dang,
That's right.
that's crazy.
But
Yeah, Gary, I got one close to 8 out of the back of his boat.
you did?
Giant.
When?
Dude, it was
Where?
over 7.
Smallmouth? Oh, yeah.
What a freaking
That wasn't-
Ontario.
yeah.
That monster
something.
with the fins the size of my hand. I don't even know
Yeah.
what that was.
Yes.
It had a
But it's
rhinoceros knot.
Yeah, but you're right. Our spawn, it can start in late April and run all the way through mid-June, even sometimes late June, depending on the
Wow.
season and the temperatures.
Mhm.
Wow.
So we can start in the
That's
south
amazing.
Bay of Green Bay, and they could be spawning already in late April, and then you can run all the way to the Door Peninsula, like right now, and they're still just coming into spawn.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's a truly unique place. I prefer, if it wasn't during some of my favorite times is that first 3 days, Gary, right? When they come up. It's magical. Your 5 and 6 pounders are very,
it's like magic. It really is. They come up out of that deep water after they've been sitting out there all winter, and they've only got one thing on their mind, and that is to eat. And it's crazy.
yeah.
100 fish days.
100 fish days. But come July, August, man, I love that deep bite too that happens. And some of those other bays, there's still a good bunch of fish that are cruising up shallow, and you can sight fish them and whatnot. But it is a magical place. And then into the fall too,
I would love
great.
doing that, man. That'd be fun, man.
Eric, we need to come up. You need to come up here and do
Just
like a team tournament or something. That'd be fun.
Dude, that'd be fun, man. As long as you do it in a shallow bay, no waves, nothing bigger than 3 foot.
Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of tournaments after the spring. There is not a lot of tournaments on Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good fishery, and there's big fish in there to be had year round. But for whatever reason, our local circuits are afraid of that big water, and they don't get the turnouts like you do other bodies of water, so they tend to stay away from it.
I just want a nice, flat, calm day where I can see them suckers rolling in the shallows and just throw something crazy at them, Travis.
Dude, there's places that happens. It happens.
I know. You told me about it, dude. You called me from Wisconsin one time. You're rolling around the shallows, and you're like, check this out. And I'm like, I could.
Oh yeah, we FaceTime.
He was showing me on FaceTime the fish that he was looking at. I'm like, that's cool.
That is pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Like in end of July, early August, and go sight fishing in the shallows. It's incredible.
That's what I want to do. That's the kind of thing that I would love. I mean, I get a sight fishing tournament. I mean, bed fishing is one thing, but cruising smallmouth's another. I mean, I used to trout fish a lot, and so a lot of it was sight fishing, especially in shallow water. I mean, I'd be in a gin clear pool, like, I'm talking not even a foot of water, and I mean, it's like glass, and there's 2 big trout working this pool, and literally I'm crawling, and I'm doing a downstream fly first presentation. Because if you try to cast anywhere downstream up, and I'm making an upstream, forget about it. They're spooked. They're gone. So you got to crawl on the bank. I mean, quiet, because they can sense the vibrations. They get fished for hard. This is a public stream. It gets the shit kicked out of it. And I'm throwing a size 22 midge, and I've tied this midge with like little magnifying glasses, and I'm snaking my line downstream, and this midge is going fly first. And see that trout rise up and hook that trout in a pool, and then all hell break loose, man. It's like a 20-inch fish. Dude, there's nothing more incredible than that.
Huh.
So I can't even imagine doing that with smallmouth. Clear water with Crazy Man Crush up there and just getting off doing something nutty. That would be fun.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. That July.
Yeah, sight fishing, it's like hunting.
Sight fishing, yeah.
Oh, really?
You take
I
a
thought you said,
chartreuse spinnerbait in that clear water and throw it out there and just burn it across the surface and watch these giants come up and try to eat it.
I've seen that movie once. That was crazy. Not in July when I thought I was going hypothermic with Travis. Anyway, another story for another day.
Yeah. November on Lake Ontario.
I did put dude, whoa. Yeah, that was fucking cold.
It was.
Yeah, I've never been so cold, man. It's crazy.
Alex, what you got anything in the comments?
They got a lot of good suggestions in here. Sean really wants you to go. I think this would be a good video too. Go to like Chicago or Erie and fish in like the skyline where you can see that in the background. That'd be make nice little backdrop. But I actually had a question for you, Gary. So Travis mentioned it a little earlier, how that guy saw him there and he's like, oh, I'm in the right area. Travis is here. And he just kind of joked with Travis about it. Do you think that happens to guys like you and Travis a lot, where you guys are known hammers on this body of water? And so it's a bed fishing. There's a lot of boats circling around. And then they see a guy like you or Travis or Caleb, like you were saying, like, oh, I might stay in here a little longer because obviously the good fish are in here if those guys are in there. Do you think that happens to you? And does that affect your tournament preparation at all?
Absolutely, it happens to me. Especially now that I got that TRS sticker on the side of my boat.
Yep.
So I stick out like a sore thumb. There's Gary. Because people don't realize it, but when they're running down the lake and their motor's running, they're screaming to their partner or something, and you're sitting in your boat with nice and quiet. You can hear every word they said. And they slow down, and then they forget, or they beep their waypoint, or so yeah.
Oh man, dude, yes, that pisses me off. I know when you're punching a waypoint, people. You're not fooling me. I know because I watch and I know exactly what's going on around me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's why I talk to myself, man.
So yeah, it happens to me. I do got to watch what I do. I'm real cautious on some of the areas that I fish because I don't want people to know.
Sure.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's still fishing and it is public water, so it's hard to keep people away. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's all part of it.
All part of it.
Guess that's gonna happen. So another question I thought of for you guys while you're talking is, I know I've seen people do this like on Bass Live when they're in Florida or whatever. They'll have a bass on a bed and they'll start hitting the end of their rod to make a little noise, catching those largemouth. Do you guys do that at all for the smallmouth, or are they typically so aggressive that that's an unnecessary measure?
I've never made, you know, are you talking like hitting the rod, just kind of getting?
Like when I do it, I have just held the reel and I'll hit the bottom of the rod like really hard, beat the shit out of it basically, and it makes a big vibration. And then
Alex, I'll put a banjo on my rod. It's crazy, but it works. The banjo minnow, that was the predecessor to the banjo rod. I'm just kidding, dude.
I was getting ready to write that down. You sounded so serious.
I'll share with you this. I will move a fish with the rod.
Like a magic wand, Harry Potter style.
No, but I've taken my sinker and my line and move them in the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Oh,
you got to get that fish sometimes repositioned, man.
Mm-hmm.
And tell them that.
Blow them with the trolling motor on a largie, man. Just blow the bed up, man, and sometimes pitch right in, and they will nail it.
Travis, I'm sure you know this because you're a great sight fisherman. The spot that fish is protecting is probably about the size of the border.
Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Sometimes if you don't hit that exact spot, they will not touch your bait. I mean, you'll find fish that obviously will come out 2 feet and get your bait. Then you'll find others that are protecting that one spot. And if you don't hit that
That's
once,
nuts.
they're not going to pick it up.
Yeah.
So you're
And
reading the
everybody-
body language, you're watching your bait, you're looking at what pebble your bait lands on, you're going to the next rock, the next shiny spot, you're trying to really see where
Absolutely.
that fish zeroes in. So you're just, concentric
You-
circle until you
you-
find
you-
the magic button.
You know when you're getting close because he's going to start getting aggravated.
No,
you-
sure.
And
He's,
not every bed like you think glows and stands out.
Sure.
Every bottom's different. I love that big crater, right?
yeah,
That's not always some of these fish, Gary. I saw the fish before the bed.
absolutely.
Crazy. Smallmouth blend into the bed. Like on Smith Mountain, dude, Scooter would be going, there's a smallie. And I'm like, there's not a smallie there. And there was a smallmouth there. And I'm going, that's fucking crazy. Now he's up front. I've got glare. But even when I was standing next to him, I'm like, no way. And it's on a deeper bed too. And I mean, there are guys that can see fish deep. And it's just experience, man. He's been fishing for 40 years, tournament fishing. So he's had a lot of spawn tournaments under his belt. So Travis, do you ever think about how many spawns you have left?
Yes, I do, dude. I mean, I'm catching up to-
it's sobering, right? I told my brother,
I-
I go, Gary, you'll find this interesting. I'm 59 this year, in November. And I told my brother, I'm like, so how many spawns do I have left of real competitive tournament fishing? And I gave him the number, and he goes, "You literally fucked me up for the rest of the year." My brother doesn't even fish, and I just named the number, and he's like, he's been thinking about that since we've had that conversation last year. Life-changing moment for him, by the way. So
I
think
hope I
about the
got-
number of spawns you
I
have
hope
left.
I
All
got
you bass fishermen on this stream, 250.
all I know is time is flying by, man. It's almost July. That just blows my mind. I just feel like I was just getting ready for this fishing season, and every year it's going by faster and faster. And Gary, we're going to be out
being a
being
dad.
before you
That's
know
called
it.
being a dad, Travis.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to the Oneida tournament.
Oneida will be fun. It'll be fun.
What's going to win it? Let's hear the prediction. What weight?
16 a day.
Wow,
I would
that's
say-
conservative.
I would say you're right, Travis. I'm guessing somewhere around 60.
Wow.
So it's fishing tougher now, Travis, or just
Well,
the
I-
time of
No.
the year?
You got turned.
One.
You got a lot of boats there, dude, for a week.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. What advice would you give somebody who never, if I was to enter that tournament, what would you tell me to throw, Gary? Finesse TRD, just drag it around on
Yep.
Shackleton?
I think towards.
I don't even know if that's the right lake.
You fished Oneida with me for a day, Eric.
Honestly,
I
I've
said
never
Shackleton. Am I right?
Oneida.
No, I wouldn't go there.
I think it's. I'm going to be dragging it.
I'm right. A tube? Okay.
Yeah.
Drag a tube around.
Yeah.
Got it.
Alabama rigs have been getting the job done on Oneida for years, and it's a guy that's consistent and knows how to work it right. And there's a bunch of guys that do really well with it. The opens take that out of the play because you can't use it, which I'm kind of happy about that because I'm not the strongest A-rig guy out there. I enjoyed
Is
it.
that an equalizer, Travis? I mean, that you
No,
that
I
you
wouldn't
can't
say
throw an
that.
A-rig?
I wouldn't
Really?
say that, but
Okay.
it's it kind of takes that out of the it's nice to take that out of the equation, sort of, especially on Oneida. I mean, there's some studs that can do some damage with an A-rig up there.
I'm
Right.
one of.
I know you would. You love that thing, dude.
I. It's part of my extension of my arm.
Oh my God, Gary! Gary, do you throw it much for big heads like largies?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I've never actually. Be honest with you, I have never thrown it for a largemouth.
Oh wow.
But I'll
Funny
tell you
about-
what.
Me and my buddy Scooter were fishing Smith Mountain, and it's definitely an A-rig bite going on, right? So my job is to throw the A-rig, and I'm throwing in practice, and I'm not trying to hook them. I bent the hooks back, I'm trying to feel for bites, and I got a lot of bites, and then finally I switched a few grubs out and caught a couple, right? And so just to see the quality that we're around. Tournament day, it like completely switched around, and I'm feeling like I'm throwing a fucking ball and chain. I mean, I'm dying. And so literally Scooter goes, man, everybody on this lake is catching him except us. And he's chucking his crankbait. Literally, as soon as the words came out of his mouth, he goes, I got him, Nick. And so he nets him, and I'm like, yeah, you're up there throwing the flat A, man. I got to put his freaking ball in shape. I got him. We both complained, and seconds later caught a bass. Weird.
Nice.
Consecutive cast after I netted his fish. What
Hey,
are the
Alex,
chances?
track Aaron down in the comments privately. I'd like to know what bait he's talking about for Oneida.
I got you.
All right.
Are you do you plan on using that Nico bait you talked about that helped you do good there last year?
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha. I will
Travis,
find
have you
Aaron
found the
for you.
Nico squid yet for smallies? Tried it at all?
Dude, I tried, but it wasn't the right deal. I threw it a handful of times so far, but
I mean, to me, it's nothing. It's just a different looking tube, I think.
it should work, no doubt.
I feel like it should.
I
I
threw
was
it up
curious.
on the bay this past week trying to do a little
Oh,
post,
wow.
but I told
Okay.
you I'm not. I couldn't even get him to bite a regular Ned. So,
Oh, well, that's bad news. You
Yeah.
weren't even around fish then. Forget it.
well, I don't know. I don't know if I was around them.
Gary
Where are
knows.
they here? Where are those damn fish in Little Sturgeon? Those post spawners.
Weed lines.
Oh my God.
Rock meets the weeds.
Right now, buddy.
Did anyone do well on post spawners that you know of, Gary?
Not that I know of. I think 90% of the field was sight fishing.
That's crazy.
90% of the top 10 or the field?
The field.
Oh, wow.
So in a spawn fishing tournament, Gary and Travis, the guy that wins, that comes in the 24-pound bag, is he the person that just spent more time on the water, marking the fish, and can obviously sight fish? So let's say all things given equal, you're all equal sight fishermen. Maybe somebody's got an edge, a trick up their sleeve, but is it about somebody spent 4 days looking and they found the 5-pounders?
I don't know that. I did talk to the guy that won it. He's a really good fisherman.
Okay.
He does really well in the southwest part of the state where he's from. He's won a lot of tournaments over the years. He said going into the tournament, he had no idea he was on that quality of fish. He did catch them all. Did catch them all sight fishing. He thought he was on 4-pounders, and it turned out.
Well, that's
you mean
what
so he didn't catch the fish?
that's
to
what
weigh him,
threw
but
me
he
off
would've
here.
known- He would
Because
have
I heard
known,
him on,
right?
Right.
Yeah, when I heard him on stage say that, I kind of like, that's weird, because you should be able to go and catch that fish, and I want to catch that fish and
He
have a
doesn't want to
waypoint.
catch him then, Karen.
I want a
I mean-
waypoint that says 4.12, especially if I'm looking for a bunch of fish that week. I don't want to have to guess which one's 4 pounds 6 ounces and which one's 4 pounds 10 ounces.
Gary,
Like,
do you catch your fish and weigh them?
I caught one fish before tournament time that I weighed in.
Okay.
Otherwise, I didn't catch them. I got so good at it, I could almost look at them and tell you how big they are.
See, I can't do that, Gary. I even told myself that in the first couple of days of practice, I was like, man, because it's been 2 years, really. Last year, I really didn't get a chance to sight fish. Ontario's closed till the 3rd week in June, and I don't get up there till July. So I'm pretty much done. I don't get that chance anymore like I used to sight fish. And I just felt my judgment was off, looking through a flogger, looking at that fish. I couldn't tell if it was 3.5 or 4 1/4. Now, especially those shallower, those deeper fish. A fish that's an 8 to 10, I almost have to catch that fish to tell. That's just my opinion.
Right. Yeah, I've been out there every weekend for the last month looking at fish. I mean, I pretty much got her dialed in as far
I
as the
gotcha.
size.
Sure.
I've looked at thousands of fish this year.
Wow.
I've looked at like 3 smallmouth with Travis and Roland Martin.
That's right.
That was pretty cool.
That was. Hey, he put his video out.
I saw
The
that 60 fish challenge, man. Yeah.
No credit though to the channel.
Well, what can you
No
say?
follow at Epic Eric Official.
Will not happening.
You
It's
know
up to
what?
you now.
It was fun to fish with him.
Hell yeah, dude.
I mean, I wish there was a link, because he does have some pull on that channel,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all.
143,000 eyeballs. That's a
I
lot of
know.
pull.
Ooh.
It's
What
all
are you going to do, man? He thought we were from New York.
right.
2 local New York studs, and I'm like, I am? All right. I feel like I am when I fish up here.
Oh man. Yeah.
Gary,
It's
do you
all-
guide? Somebody just asked the question.
No, I do not guide.
Do you want to
Andrew
guide?
Strobel, he does not.
I take a lot of friends fishing, consider guiding, but professionally, I do not guide.
I gotcha. So,
Travis,
Darius,
I've noticed your phone is going crazy in Wisconsin. Is this old high school Flames calling you or something? Because it's a little weird. That's like the
I
7th
wish.
call.
It's-
There may be 10. Who is blowing you up? Turn your phone on silent. Please, I'm tired of hearing that damn duck. I want to shoot that duck, frankly.
It's
Get the shotgun.
BTC.
oh
What?
yeah.
Come on. And I don't know what he's doing.
He's fired up again.
Okay.
I think you better get him on quick, or it could quickly descend into incoherent conversation.
Aaron, if you want to send me an email and talk, I'm
Aaron
gonna
or
say-
Eric?
Aaron.
Email. So Darius King asked the question. He's going to Kentucky Lake. He wants to fish for smallmouth at night. I fish for smallmouth at night in Western Maryland, and they absolutely jam a bait. It's a very busy lake, and they feed heavy at night in the summer, like August timeframe. So I don't know about June on Kentucky Lake. I know it's warmer down there. But have you guys ever fished for smallmouth at night? And if so, how did you target them?
I've
Do you
never
think
fished
your
at
fish
night.
out
for them.
there? You think
Honestly,
they-
I've never tried for them at night. I'm sure you can catch them at night. And if I was to go,
I threw a storm chug bug.
yeah,
I threw a storm
Storm-
chug bug in black and in rocky shallow bays. And Gary, check this out. So I caught a walleye on a storm chug bug in the shallow bay. Flipped me
Awesome.
out. Then I caught like a 17-inch smallie. Then I caught a 21-inch smallie. And I measured. This is big for Western Maryland, by the way, this lake. And this fish, as I was trying to release him, he flipped hard, went to the carpet, knocked my rod into the water, my G Loomis, and I'm flipping out at night. And I'm going, holy crap. And so I'm looking, turn my light on. I'm trying to find my rod. I can't even see it. The storm chug bug was hooked into the carpet. The fish was out of the boat. The storm chug bug was in the carpet. So I was able to get the line and pull my rod back in.
you got
But it was
lucky.
a crazy night. Yeah. It's low rolling black spinner baits like that Strike
Yeah.
38 special, whatever it's called, midnight special. Man, they just jam it. You cast it onto the bank. You got to cast it onto the bank. So, Darius, that's all I got for you, man. These two guys have never fished at night for smallies. In my
No.
lake up there, they eat at night, but it's got to be hot. They get in the shallows and they just feed heavy. Very
Yeah,
cool.
Darius, I think it was Ryan Salzman on his episode of the SmallmouthCrush podcast. He talked about fishing for him on Pickwick, and I believe he was just throwing a black and some dark colored spinnerbait off a point. So you could go back and listen to that too. That's probably the best resource
There you
you're gonna
go.
find. That'd be my suggestion. But
Yeah,
he fishes Kentucky Lake
up on
like every day.
Insta,
He
man.
doesn't need any help.
What was that?
Yeah, Darius, what are you doing, man? You fish Kentucky Lake every day. Why are you working us for info?
That's funny. Well,
Football jigs. Look at that. Good comments, though. Good comments, man.
Absolutely.
Oh, man, he's getting lots of good tips. Awesome. There you go.
Graham goes
Bait
Washington Island or the bays of mainland DC. Both are good, man. There's not a bad stretch from Green Bay all the way up to the top. There's smallmouth. Like there's not really a dead zone, Gary.
Not really. Nope.
Wow. That's nuts.
And
So
great
since the-
stuff.
There are so many smallmouth in the Bay of Green Bay. It's crazy. And they live from the Fox River all the way to Door Peninsula. Actually, up both west and east shore.
Yeah.
Mono,
Yeah, unfortunately, the DNR here in Wisconsin kind of keeps us, which I don't understand, Gary. If we can run to Gills Rock, why can't we run over to the other side of the bay, which is closer? Do you know the reasoning behind all that?
Well, this is what I've been told. They think that the Door County fish are a different species of smallmouth, and they don't want to be taking the fish off the West Shore and mixing them with the East Shore. And the same thing with Lake Michigan. If that makes any sense to you, it doesn't to me.
It doesn't make any
How
sense to
about
me.
that, man? Different strain of smallie.
Yep. Now they are built
Wow.
different. They are built different. The ones on the West Shore are longer, not as wide, whereas Door County fish are shorter and stockier. But other than that, I mean, a smallmouth.
Man. Yeah, that's unfortunate because it would really
It would spread.
allow things to spread out a little bit more. And
Whose
is
cat
that
is
your
that,
cat,
Travis?
Eric?
That's
Hey,
mine.
No.
Cat. Listen, if there was a cat here, my mom would have shot it. Like, yeah.
So right now, if you could have went to the West
What's
Shore,
wrong with your mom, man? That's just weird.
if you could have went to the
It
West,
explains a lot about you, bro.
yeah. So right now, if you could have went to the West Shore in this this past weekend, you'd have saw probably 26 pounds.
Wow.
What?
Yes,
Holy shit.
'Cause they're-
Wow, that's crazy.
and they're on beds.
Wow.
Whoa. Well, let sleeping dogs lie, Travis.
Yeah.
So it's not Gary's cat. It's not Travis's cat. It's not my cat. Alex, it's your cat.
Yeah, it is. My wife puts out food for the stray cats, and then when we forget to bring it in, the raccoons will come and get it. So
What?
I'm guessing there's a raccoon out there right now eating the food, and he's wanting to go out and play with the raccoon. That'd be my guess. But
Travis
And
got a lot of
Your
raccoons in your life.
at least your
man.
raccoons are alive and well. I didn't hear any gunshots yet, but damn.
if you hear a
It's
gunshot, it's probably people getting shot at, not the raccoon around here. So you should be okay. We're keeping the raccoons alive around here.
What the
Oh,
hell?
man.
So Eric, I don't know if anyone is even paying attention to this, but this last week, I think ended Sunday, they had a FLW event on the Potomac. I think it took about 65 something to win, maybe a little more than that. Is that sort of what you would expect around there this time of year, or is that a little low on the Potomac for a 4-day?
No, that's probably around 15 pounds plus a day to win. Sure. Yeah, and that's what it took. Yep. I mean, obviously more. He got some big bites on the final day. So, man, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
The dude's from Italy, man. Jamie Newton was a marshal in that tournament, and he had some really cool experiences. We talked every day about who he fished with, and it's really fascinating to see how
You
they
were
ran that
communicating
river.
with people last week, except for me. Eric. Wow.
The cat is in my ear. What did you say, Travis?
I haven't got a hold of you in 2 weeks, bro.
Dude, what are you talking about?
We haven't talked.
I know 9 times out of 10 when I call you, you rarely answer the phone. So welcome to my world. How'd that feel? It's a little tough, ain't it? Yep. You got to work a little harder. I called you back today. You didn't call me. So you said your phone was off or you had bad service. So let's go, man. Anyway, so yeah, back to the point. Italian angler, man, he's been stuck over here because he couldn't get back home. He's got a kid, hasn't seen him in like 10 months. And,
What?
Yeah, he's from Italy, dude. Literally a straight up Italian angler won. So
He could just
viva
fish this
Italian,
tournament?
man. But that there was a guy, Jamie, if you're on the comment, Jamie's still in the comments, I think, but he told me that a guy that makes the screen shields for your Lowrance and Humminbird units, they took him in. They've been letting him, live like he was family. So it's really cool, man. Yeah. So anyway, there you go, man. That was a cool win for a guy who's been away from home that long. So I mean, an international angler, man. On my home river. Very cool.
Real quick, I want to address a comment
Sure. Let's move on.
By Kenneth Raymond. Who is protecting the eggs with all these spawners that are pulled off the beds? So here's my thoughts, Kenneth, and it's right or wrong. It is what it is. I feel like tournament bass anglers are not the ones that are devastating the, I guess, smallmouth that are in that zone or this time of year. We see a lot of recreational fishermen, people like that, will actually fish off the beds and put these fish in the live well or in the bucket and eat them and kill them. And so here's how I justify it. Gary, I mean, if it's a tournament situation, your goal is to catch the 5 biggest fish, and if you got a bed fish, that's what you have to do. We are letting them go. Yes, will those eggs survive? I don't know. I don't know what happens. Okay. I do know that I don't try to purposely kill fish. And so I guess in my mind, I feel like I'm not the enemy when it comes to, killing smallmouth. And I don't think the tournament guy is. I think there's a lot more fish get caught and killed to eat by non-tournament anglers. I don't know a single tournament angler that actually kills smallmouth. The limit's 5 a day. I could literally go out there and pull 5 fish off of a bed and take them home and eat them.
But what's incredible, though, I mean, Gary
I don't
just said
do that.
there are thousands and thousands.
And it happens every year.
But there's no problem with the population of smallmouth in most New York waters. It's extraordinary the numbers of fish that come out of the St. Lawrence. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, you got to grind out bites everywhere else, but in New York, it's literally off the chain.
Same thing with
in Wisconsin, New York. I mean,
And that's why I say
healthy fishery. So tournament fishing isn't making a dent in the population, no question about it. And I'm no fisheries management expert, but if you have too many fish and not enough food, the gobies kind of take care of that, because gobies are just like an endless buffet, right? That's what really turned these fish onto just like a steady diet, right? I mean, I don't know what percent of their diet is goby versus perch, but what do you guys think?
Man.
So,
yeah. I don't know.
Eric, to your point, I think it's important to think about too. I think as tournament anglers, we all do such a good job of catch and release that it can almost be detrimental to the population. Like if you got 100 deer living in a field that only 10 are meant to live in, they're not going to be healthy. They're not going to be doing good. So the way I look at it is it's almost the tournament angler way of keeping the population at a healthy level, because not every one of those fish is going to have a healthy spawn. And this way, sure, you take a couple here or there. It's the right amount of population management. Cat will not shut up. It's the right amount of population management to keep it a healthy fishery, because like Travis said, he doesn't know a tournament angler, and I don't either, that keeps a fish and eats them at night. We all do such a good job of that I think unknowingly that's our way of keeping the population at a steady level. So that way we don't have 100,000 2-pound smallmouth running around as compared to 80,000, healthy 3 to 4 or 5 pound smallmouth.
Yeah, Alex, you bring up a good point. There's no doubt in my mind when I was practicing and I caught a fish off a bed and it had a very sore mouth from being hooked for the last 2 weeks. I was saddened by it. Okay. I'm affected by it. Right. I mean, it's like, damn, but it's such a strong fishery. And this has been going on. Shit. I mean, it was good before I left to the East Coast when I was here fishing Door County water. So
yeah, you just wonder, like, they protect like the Susquehanna smallmouth during the spawn. And if it wasn't for some of the diseases running through, I don't know that there was
would I mind
river, because the upper Susquehanna, I'm talking about above Duncannon, back in the heyday before it got some real problems with disease. I mean, I'm talking about where Joe fishes.
Yeah.
And man, 20 years ago, Travis, 25 years ago, I mean, it was 5-pounder after 5-pounder. It was crazy in the spring. I've never seen anything like it.
Would I mind, honestly, if they closed tournament fishing until July 1st on all these northern bodies of water? I'd probably be okay with that. I would.
Yeah.
But if they're going to have them, I'm going to do what it takes to put the fish in the boat.
Sure. Sure. You got to be competitive. I get it. But again, I mean, I don't know that any of the New York bodies of water, maybe Oneida, but is that more water quality?
I don't know. Look at the St. Lawrence is going to get raped, and it does every spring.
Yeah, but the St.
30-pound Bay came out last weekend. 30-pound Bay came out.
That's a massive body of water. Oneida is it's a much smaller fishery. St. Lawrence is massive. What is it, 100+ miles long? More. Sure. Couple hundred.
But even
miles
look
long?
at the Chesapeake, Eric. Those spawning tournaments all year.
Yeah.
I mean, people keep picking on smallmouth because you can
see
the beds. Our largemouth we're catching on the Chesapeake are bedding fish too. We just don't see them.
I think it goes for all fisheries, man.
All over the country. Every tournament in the spring, you're catching spawning fish. So I don't know.
I don't know. Good debate.
Look at the
for
charter
another night.
boats on Lake Ontario, taking 25 smallmouth a day.
Elmo.
Wait till you get there, Gary, and see that. You're going to be pissed.
What's that?
Lake
Elmo's
Ontario, the
code word for let's
charters.
move on.
Oh yeah, where they actually take them and eat them.
Oh, yes, every day.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
They're going to get right up on the ledges. You're going to want to fish, and you're going to go there, and you're going to see 4, 5, 6 charter boats anchored with live crayfish, throwing 5 and 6 pounders in the cooler all day long.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And
you'll see
still
the killing grounds, I call it.
It's so
They have
crazy.
picnic tables. They have shore lunch for smallmouth on Lake Ontario. We don't have that here in Green Bay that I know of.
Yeah. But you know what's interesting? Some people that love to walleye fish and tournament walleye fish would go, I can't believe you're keeping my walleye, Travis.
No,
So, you know,
walleye
it's
guys
to
will
each his
eat every
own.
freaking. No, walleye anglers will keep every walleye they can to eat at the dinner
Absolutely.
table.
And the
All right, so
population.
that's a shitty example.
It's
All right,
still
whatever, man. Catch and release trout, dude. You get the point. It's like, look, it's nature, it's food. Somebody goes, why shoot a deer? Why go hunt raccoons? I don't know, bro. You know, because that's what people want to do, and it's their right to do it. It's the natural wonders of the world. They're not protected species. They're not. You just like to catch them, so you want the population protected for you. But that's just your point of view. Other people want to go out and make a living running a charter boat, catching smallies and not perch. I don't know. It's crazy, but it's their right.
Yeah.
Sucks for you as an angler, but for them as a recreational catch and release, it's within their right to do it. I know it hurts
Well,
the bass.
I
public,
think
but
I
damn.
think those charters are double dipping too, but that's a whole nother story.
Of course, sure is.
Before we get to the podcast with, I actually got a couple good podcasts coming up talking about that. So, Curtis Richardson,
Watch your
I had
back,
a
man.
SmallmouthCrush podcast. He actually devoted most of that podcast about keeping smallmouth alive during a tournament and his kind of procedure, his way of doing that, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to share that with you guys. Give you a couple examples that he talked about. So Curtis basically says he does not lose a smallmouth during the summer events anymore since he implied this system that he has, and it involves really 8 to 10 bags of ice a day.
Holy crap.
Keeping that water as cold. He's like as cold as you can get it. He fills that up. It's on recirculate, and he just keeps checking on those fish.
Where does he carry 8 to 10 bags of ice in his boat?
He's got he's got that Ranger 520. It's got a pretty big ass cooler, I guess, and he does keep a spare cooler as well. But he's a 8 to 10 bag ice guy a day.
Wow.
I put ice on my fish this tournament. That water was nice and cold. I had 4 bags of ice on these fish. And I don't like, if I can help it, I try not, a lot of these events are going with that no puncture deal. And I know they've made them smaller. I still don't like them. I'll use them. I'll use it for largemouth more than smallmouth, those call tags. But I don't like that big ass plastic clip on their lips. He also talked about the proper fizzing and things like that. But he was anti those big call tag clips on those fish too.
I don't care for them either.
Interesting.
I've had fish with the bigger ones early on, like 4 years ago. I've had fish drown, die. I've had co-anglers use them, and my fish were alive, and all 5 of theirs were dead at the end of the day.
What do you use?
I use the smaller ones now, but if I could use the puncture ones with just a small little metal thing, I'd rather use that because that fish can close that mouth a lot easier than that big plastic freaking thing in there. And I don't know why these tournament organization guys think that that's better than just putting a little. If you do it correctly, I mean, it's like getting your ear pierced. It ain't a big deal.
I just catch 5 or less fish, and I don't have to worry about it. That's my strategy with culling. I don't like dealing with it.
You're the conservation man of the year. Please pass go and collect your $50 from Travis. He's
Sir, how are you managing your fish this week? Anything special or
me?
Yeah.
I did use ice. I did not use the cull clips. I don't care for it during the spawn. The fish gets stressed enough. I planned my day making my farthest run first, and then getting closer to the landing so that I didn't have to beat the fish up. Unfortunately for us, it was calm conditions and it wasn't a rough boat ride. But
Mhm.
on the Great Lakes, that can happen. And now I'm putting you see them styrofoam noodles. I put them in top so they float, so the fish can't bounce up and hit the top of my live well.
Yep.
Things like that.
Oh wow.
Yep, and I'm using G juice for additive and keeping it on recirc more than pumping just fresh water in. So
Yep.
I do a couple different things.
Yep. I put the G juice in. I put ice in, and I haven't had a casualty. It's nice with that singles format because you can use 2 live wells, which I did.
So did I.
The fish I think I'm going to keep throughout the day, I put on one side, and the smaller ones I put on the other, and
Exactly what
I work that scenario. I'm having a problem with that. I love that Rapala scale, but I'm on my 4th scale in 2 years, man.
Really?
Yeah. Do you use that Rapala one, Gary?
do, but I'll be honest with you. I don't scale a lot of my fish. I got a balance beam. I'll use that. In my opinion, there's only one scale that matters, and that's the one they put it on at the end of the day. I can, use the balance beam, and I always know what my biggest fish is. So
Sure. Yeah.
For me, that just takes more time away from fishing.
Makes sense. That Rapala one definitely weighs light too. I don't know if most
Oh, it does.
pre-bought
Nice.
scales are like that or what, but
I'm always pleasantly surprised when they come in. I'm like, oh, all right.
Nice.
So David Brown's got a good question for you guys more about fish management again. So definitely in Indiana, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but there is a lot of Amish that fish the lakes. They'll when I was at the lake a couple weeks ago, there's probably 500 Amish people there just either fishing or on the bank running around. And he's not lying. They will keep, at least around here, they will keep every single one they catch. So is that an issue in your area? Do you think it's an issue or maybe not too much up there?
Upstate New York, the Amish definitely devastate the smallmouth too, especially during the spawn on some of those. Actually, we're will guides, believe it or not, up on the St. Lawrence on the St. Regis there. But
there's no problem with the population up there, dude. They're not keeping enough. There's so many fish up there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You see a lot more weekend people out there with live bait taking them than you would the Amish.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all good. Damn Amish. What the heck? Listen, if you're gonna live like that, don't be driving in a whatever. I don't understand that, dude.
Dude, I don't even know what you're talking about, man.
I'm just saying.
I know you're talking. I know.
They're probably looking at you going, "What the fuck are you driving?" I mean, seriously, dude, don't be so judgmental. That's just dumb. It is, man. It is. Don't pick on people like that. It's just not right. It's not right, man. It's not right.
They'll hang their clothes out, not use a dryer, but I see them in cars and motorboats. So I don't get it. Either be like a Native American or don't be, or whatever you're trying. I don't even know their lifestyle. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's your ignorance on display again. So
I
why
thought
don't you
they
go get
use
educated about it?
Or gas.
There's different types of Amish. If you want to get educated, please learn about it. Because don't speak out of turn like that. That's just not good, man. It's not cool.
Fine.
It is. I know I don't like it.
There's a lot of different factions, Travis. I know some of them are, like you said, like they don't have light bulbs, and there's other ones that have gotten a lot more relaxed as time goes on. So I think it just depends on their ancestry, their background, how they
all in or none. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay.
Oh, Dave's got a nice comment.
I didn't know that.
Me neither.
All right, let's change the subject here. So,
horse and buggy.
I saw on Instagram this weekend. I don't know if you'll remember. So there's a guy on Travis's Patreons. I don't think I've ever seen him comment on a regular one. His name's Alex Corral, one of the two. I apologize, Alex, but he will come in on the Patreon and ask like the best question you have ever heard, and because he knows Travis has the answer to that point, basically is what he's doing. But he was on Cayuga this weekend, won a team tournament with 25 pounds of, I think it's 25 pounds of smallmouth.
Nice.
I'm gonna give him a shout out and get your thoughts on Cayuga, Travis. I know it's you fished it last year. Obviously, it didn't turn out how you wanted it to. Do you think that smallmouth population up there might start taking over a little more, or is it still mainly a largemouth is gonna get you?
I'm assuming it was probably betters on Cayuga. This time of year, early, or not early, but springtime, that's when you'll probably do your best damage with smallmouth on the Finger Lakes. Not saying you can't get them deep, but it's predominantly a largemouth lake, during the summer months.
Sure.
But damn, 25 is a pretty good bag.
So Jamie Newton had a good question. I didn't know this was a thing. So he says, did any of you guys see the first electric outboard being advertised? I'm assuming that was at the Classic.
No,
What
man,
What are
I
your
didn't
thoughts
see
on
it.
that?
I heard about
You
it.
see it, John?
Who makes it?
I don't know. I asked him if he knew anything more about it. I just want to know how much that giant battery would have to weigh and how you.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I mean, I think you could it's a boat. You could easily put like a solar panel or something on the back of it. You're gonna be outside all the time, but I'm sure like any new thing, there'll be issues with it at first, and then
Oh yeah.
I would entertain the thought of it. It's definitely different.
Well, they could put an alternator system on it so it charges your battery while you're running.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Mm.
They have that powerful management system now, man. It keeps the batteries fresh.
I'm loving my lithium setups this year for the trolling motor and the starting batteries. I was a little hesitant. This is my first year using all lithiums for a starting battery and my trolling motor. And so far, man, so good. I've been very pleased with it. But
And you've got the powerful management power system, right? I mean, is that the power management?
The powerful
You don't have
charge.
Is that the one that delivers juice back as you run your big outboard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
No idea how it works. It's just
It uses the alternator, I think, from the big engine, like Gary said, to charge and continuously charge
but it
your
can
battery.
transfer too.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah. It monitors the battery health on all the batteries, right? So
I know
it's okay to
it's
use
very
lithiums,
complicated.
right?
So your app will tell you everything. Again, I've said this before. I plug the thing in, I unplug it. I don't even check for lights anymore.
Right.
I just know it's going to be ready to go.
That's so crazy, man.
Lifesaver. So many
Are you
issues.
running all lithium pros and no issues with the lithium pros? Or are you running a different brand?
Just all lithium pros. They're the most expensive, but I honestly believe they're the best.
That's
I really
awesome,
do.
man. Wow.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, I remember you talked. There goes Eric. You talked about that a lot.
I'm still here.
Oh, gotcha. You talked about a lot in your boat build video how a lot of other lithium companies might be a little cheaper, but that's probably because they're cutting corners, and you've seen and heard people having major issues with those that have cost them big time money in tournaments, whatever it might be. But do you know what they're doing? The science behind it, what they're doing differently, what corners are being cut? I don't know much about
technology. It's all built here in the U.S. Of course, the lithium does come from out of the country, but they've been in the game the longest. Anytime you have a competitor or a product out there and someone tries to duplicate or replicate, they have lithium batteries. There's lithium batteries that are $1,500 less than lithium Pro.
Mm-hmm.
There's boat companies now that are offering lithium batteries under their brand that you can buy a boat package and get that lithium in there.
So who's manufacturing those, do you think, for them? Who's the private label?
Most of it's one or two big players out there that are just private labeling those batteries.
Do you think there are better lithiums than others? Have you heard
I think the lithium pros are the best out there. It's
kind of the industry standard, the gold standard, right?
It really is. You're taking a chance. I've talked to the service guy. Guys, listen, I know the service guys very well. I drill them on this stuff because, believe me, I don't want issues. I'm very intense when it comes to that. And I drilled them on this. And they told me the batteries they see the least amount of issues and the setups that they see the least amount of issues is the way I'm going to go. When they're telling me these off brands or these new ones that are better, 3-4 years in, when a pro's sponsored by, I'm not going to name a name, but X lithium battery company, they're getting paid and they're getting free batteries. So they're not going to tell you when
Oh,
the
man.
batteries fail and they can't fish that day, or they have to wait. You know, first of all, most touring pros don't have to wait a week or two. But if we lost the lithium, it might take a month to get that replaced. Going through the process, I can't afford that time.
Yeah,
You know,
I gotcha.
you just gotta be careful. You really gotta do
Sure.
your research.
So, Gary, I wanted to ask you before BTC comes on here and we lose track of what the hell we're doing here. But so you obviously had a pretty good event there at the James River, and you got Oneida and the St. Lawrence River left, probably two smallmouth dominated tournaments. Obviously, that's right in your wheelhouse. What's your mindset going in those last two tournaments with a pretty good shot at qualifying for the elites?
Well, I'm going to take one tournament at a time.
Okay.
I'm going to go into Oneida. Obviously, I'm going to do my research before I go there. It's going to be my first time on Oneida, as was the James River. And I'm just going to focus on what I know, what summer smallmouth should be doing. And I'm going to hopefully have a good finish there. I need at least another top 20 that didn't have a chance going into Thousand Islands. So, the competition in the opens is so intense, and only giving away 3 spots to go to the elites. I'm gonna have to be at the top of my game, so I need a top 20 there, and I'm just gonna focus on what I know and see
Sure.
patterns, and I'm sure Travis will look out for me a little bit, and JP and Tom, and we'll all work together like we did on the
We get the crew back. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And
So,
then,
go
if I
ahead,
have
Gary.
a good finish there, then I'll start focusing on the Thousand Islands. Which is-
Gary, are you going to? I was just curious. Since you're up there, are you going to go to Ontario for a day or two before you go back to Wisconsin, or are you not going to have enough time?
I'm going to try to get over there, Travis. It's all going to depend on my work schedule. We're really busy at work.
Uh-huh.
Got some big projects that are starting later this year, and me being an HR manager, I'm going to be busy doing a lot of hiring.
Sure.
So I'm going to try to, but I can't guarantee that.
Gotcha. So is that your end goal, Gary? Would you like to qualify the elites and accept that invitation, or you just want to swing for the fences and hit the classic?
Well, actually both. I would love to make the elites. I've always wanted to. And to make it to the classic, that'd be a lifelong dream that I've had since I was a kid, going to the Bassmaster Classic. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I think one thing you guys should think about too in the Northern Division is, since Polnick won that first event, obviously he's at the top of the points, but he's already qualified, so they're going to go down a whole extra spot. So that's another. They
Right.
could go down to 4th place if he continues to. I would not bet against that guy fishing well, but that's certainly something else to think of.
He's good on Ontario and he's good on Oneida, so the chances of him dropping out is that top 3 are probably pretty slim.
Yeah, I would think the same. And I didn't think about this. Mega Live came out. They got videos of it. I saw Carl Jockinson put a video out on it. I don't know, Travis, Gary, if you guys have gotten to see some videos, or maybe what your first impressions of that new live imaging are.
I have seen the videos. I'll be honest
What
with
do you think, man? I don't know.
I was not really impressed.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not
Garmin's
happening.
the way to go, with
So-
Lawrence in 2nd place and Hummingbird in 3rd. Dude, I was
So
hoping
let
to
me
say,
ask you a question, Travis.
if
you
Garmin-
could see, if you had a 360, wait a minute, if you had a 360 view and you could really count on what you were seeing in terms of fish swimming around, what would you think?
that'd be
Like
great. but nobody
360
has that.
view and
Sure.
really no, but what I'm saying, if it's coming, would you still use Garmin if Hummingbird came out with a 360 live that you could actually count on? Like
If it was
boulder,
better,
3
if it was-
bass,
Yes.
lay
sure.
down. 'Cause
Yeah.
like when I'm
I'm gonna
looking
go with
at-
the
okay, I'm just asking.
I'm gonna go with the best out there.
And would you
I
throw
understand.
would you throw that down there on that
Is
level?
that June bug? Can we consider
that's
that June bug?
That's the fire bug, bro. Fire bug.
There
I
you
showed
go.
the fire
There you
bug.
go.
TK, man, Tacklecraft nailed it. Boom. With the bass.
So
Heck yeah.
let's go back to the live imaging.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I ordered mine back in December of last year. I am still on that list. but I am going to be coming off that list.
Wow.
And I am going to be getting a
What?
Garmin.
Good.
That's interesting.
Whoa.
I will say, I watched Carl Jocumson's video, and that video he took of it was like 10 times better than the commercial they put out. The commercial, I agree. I thought it looked like crap, but his video, I mean, I don't have Garmin. I can't really compare it to anything. I'm sure you guys have a lot of experience using it, but I thought the video, whatever settings he had going on, blew the commercial out of the water. It looked like he was using a completely different technology. So
Now that's
could
kind
be
of crazy.
yeah. I'm gonna.
And he was live on the water showing you real stuff.
He was, yes. They were on Lake Lanier, I believe, fishing for spotted
Yeah,
bass.
Well,
And did they catch a spotted bass while he's doing the demo on what the unit looks like?
They caught one. So when they get on they did an install and then they get on the water and the guy he was with had caught one, but they weren't showing like, here's my bait, I'll catch one. Like he showed his bait down there, but none of the fish were biting it. So I don't know if that was just the specific spot he was on or what. But
until some pro using it shows me without fooling around, because I've seen, with Travis, and Scooter runs one that I put on the front of the boat, and dude, I've watched him eat my drop shot in the brush pile. It's crazy. I mean, I've watched my drop shot come off, and I watched the fish go in the brush pile to eat that drop shot. It's crazy.
One of the biggest, first of all, there's a couple, we haven't really talked about the classic yet, but when I was down there's 3 things stuck out. One, I'm not going to talk about just yet. The second was how cool Bradley Hallman is. He's my new boy. That dude's fun.
Awesome.
Love
He's
that
awesome.
guy. And then John from Bass Tank is legit when it comes to, he's the one that won the 2 National Fishing League tournaments this year already. 2 other.
Yeah, he is a stick.
The NPFL?
Yeah,
Yeah.
good dude. I met him, talked to him. I will get my boat rigged by him next year.
Wow. Driving
In
all the way to
Oklahoma. I will
Oklahoma.
drive 15, 18 hours and have him get my shit set up. That's how good he is.
Wow. That's a testimony.
I believe it, yeah. I've never heard a bad thing said about the Bass Tank people. I certainly think they're onto something. They got a good business going over there, great customer service. They seem like they're the place to be.
Yeah, I think
In fact,
so.
we have a request. If you could just yell "Mom Meatloaf," you'd make some people very happy.
There's sleeping already, man.
Just yell it. Just do it. With reckless abandon, man. Come on. What's
John
wrong
from
with
Dem
John?
Jigs in the house.
John.
John came up to me in the tournament, and I don't think he thought I knew who he was. I knew who he was. I was just like, my mind's always going in different places tournament day. He goes, "Hey, it's John from Dem Jigs." I'm like,
Damn who?
Do you
What
think
would
he
you
didn't
say?
think I knew him from
What'd
Dem
you say?
Jig. No, we just talked a little bit, but like he felt like he had to introduce himself to me.
And you said, "Oh, John, I know it's you," or you did? What did you?
I
say?
didn't say that. We just started talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Travis,
You think-
it's John from Dem Jigs. Did you go? Oh, hey, John.
Yeah,
You know
yeah, I
you?
did. I'm just saying he thought I didn't know who he was.
I don't think you did.
Oh my god. These people.
What else do you want to talk about, bro?
Well,
How was Billy Bob's? Did you end up going there or you go to a different place?
I live there, dude.
You-
Any stories? Did
Plenty
you ride the
out
bull?
there. Bradley Hallman, Matt from BTL. We're at the Brantley Gilbert concert. Is it Bradley Gilbert?
yes.
Good dude. Yeah,
I don't know.
we were at the concert there. Yeah, it was crazy.
Did you feel
I
like
don't
you would die at the Classic this year with
No,
lack
it
of
wasn't
sleep,
that
or you
bad.
just powered through? Did you get some
wasn't
sleep?
that bad. No, I didn't get any sleep, but it wasn't that bad.
Okay.
The thing that sucked about it is I got back. My flight was Monday morning early. So I flew into Pittsburgh. Well, I was supposed to land in Pittsburgh to Philly, but there was a storm in Pittsburgh, so they drove us to Columbus. We landed because we had to get gas. Then by the time I got to Pittsburgh, I missed my connecting flight, so I had to stay overnight in Pittsburgh. Well, now I'm down a day because I was leaving for Wisconsin. So I get back Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. I had a doctor's appointment at 8 with the cardiologist guy, right? Check my heart, that I couldn't miss because it took me months to get in. And I was freaking out, wondering if I was going to die. And so I had to see him. Of course, he just looks at my stuff. He says, well, those pulsations you feel in your leg is just probably veins are pumping. I'm like, well, that's not right. I'm like, why don't you do more tests? He really didn't do anything. So it was a waste of time. I still don't know why my legs feel so funny all the time. And so I left there pissed off in traffic. I had another Uber, you know, because I couldn't land and drive home and then hit the doctors in Philly. So then now it's 10 o'clock. And I saw, just like Garrett, I saw the forecast for Thursday was going to be gorgeous on the bay. And I'm like, God damn, I got to go to Wisconsin now if I even have a shot at fishing the next day. So I got in the truck at 1 p.m. And I drove straight through 15 hours to come to Wisconsin. And I was on the bay by 9 o'clock that morning. And I'm glad because I found 4 betters that would have, you know, I mean, I took 9th place, so who gives a fuck, really? But, you know, I tried, dude. I drove all night to get there because of the weather, dude. You know, nothing was prepared. You know, I'm still trying to catch up. Boat was trashed. I was guiding all week, leave for the classic, come back. You can imagine I brought 45 different rods, dude. And and I'm trying to rig them all. Like, life is tough, Gary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Classic to Wisconsin, Wisconsin. It's a tough life, Gary. Billy Bob's every night, White Claws on a live stream. Tough life.
Yeah, I got a Yeti right here.
I get to go
White Claw. We can go all night, bro.
More, do some filming this week. Gary, it's tough. My dad helped me detail the boat. It's a tough life, man, but somebody's got to live it.
I had to make a boat.
Shut up.
I made a boat. I had to make a boat cleaning video today.
I had to make a boat cleaning video.
That
sounds like fun. I'd love to make a fucking car cleaning video, man. What are you talking about?
A company
had to make a boat cleaning
video.
It's your job, dude. You don't got to do it. It's your job.
A company reached out to me 2 months ago and sent me a bunch of boat cleaning product. And they're like, we'll send you a bunch of product if you do a video. And I was drunk, so I replied and said, yes, send them. And so they sent them. And then they've been asking me every week, hey, how's that video coming along? And I'm like, God. Really? I live in a townhouse. Do you want me to bring my boat and start cleaning it? And which finally, I'm like, when am I going to make this video? So I did it today. It was much needed video. I was blown away with their hull cleaner. So I ordered my.
Talk about the name of the company.
All right.
I don't even.
Are
know.
you gonna wait? Okay. He doesn't even know.
I'd have to look at it. Better Boat or Boat Works.
Travis, you're kind of geezing these days. I'm just gonna tell you. Thought you fished the tournament last week. You Monday. Who was on my boat? Them jigs. Man, I'm worried about you, bro.
Okay.
Do you struggle in life recently?
I think
anyways, they have a. What's that, Gary?
Grown man, get it together, man.
Many things at one time.
Right. So this hull cleaner, they have this hull cleaner, and I sprayed it on my jack plate today because you know how
you're interested if we knew the name of the product, but don't worry about it. Keep rolling.
The jack plate gets stained. The silver.
It does, yeah.
Yes, I sprayed this shit on there. I read the directions actually because I wanted to make a killer video about this product, and I waited 2 minutes. Dude, this shit came right off.
That's cool.
I was
to get off.
I was like, wow.
Well, when you're done with your video, I want to know the name of that stuff because
yeah.
Hey,
it's
man,
good.
Scooter's jack plate looks gold right now. I look down at his jack plate. I'm like,
I know.
Do they make jack plates in gold? Because it looks
That's
gold
why I was
right
so
now.
pissed because I ordered the
think
flat
it's cool
black.
looking gold. I mean, why don't they just make them gold?
I ordered the flat blackjack plate this year, and it came with the silver one.
You
And
ordered a flapjack black plate?
A flat blackjack.
You said
They make them
flapjack.
color-coded black now.
Did you say flapjack jack plate? Say that 5 times fast when you're drinking White Claws. Go ahead.
I'm on my third one, dude. I'm not. So, anyways, and it came silver, so I was pissed off about it. And I bitched at them. I told my dealer, I ordered it this. You got to make this right. And they came back at like, they were going to give me a $50 Bass Pro Shop gift card if I'm cool with it. I'm like, no, I'm not cool with it. Give me my blackjack plate like I ordered. So we went back and forth, and
re-rigged the whole boat.
Yeah, because that's what I ordered.
I understand.
That's fair. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Manson, if you want to wait till September, we might be able to accommodate your needs.
Mr.
I said,
Manson.
fine.
They call you
Send me
Mr. Manson.
$50 gift certificate.
They're going to be so happy you're going 18 hours away to rig your boat. They're going to celebrate. They're going to have a pizza party.
No, that's not the
at
dealer.
frickin-
That wasn't my dealer. It was Nitro.
They'll be going
Which
to
I
be
love,
so
by the
happy when you move to Ranger.
Oh, I ain't moving a Ranger.
They're owned by the same people, so he'd probably still be right dealing with Bass Pro.
I'll run a scooter like Gary.
That's right.
No.
Gary, which
can't
scooter do you
have
run,
a
man?
ZXR.
Do you like that new hull?
Yes, I
You
do.
used to run an FX?
ZX. I've been a ZX guy.
Okay. Yeah.
What's the
got a
difference
nice
between
hull.
the two?
This new hull, I don't know. It's definitely a faster hull. It's a little smoother ride. The old Skeeter hull slapped a little bit. This one's a little more, feels more solid. It's definitely quicker. The jack plate, you got to run up really high on this one. I mean, like my other jack plate, I would run about between 4 and 9. This one's like 15 to 18.
Wow.
Otherwise, it chime walks.
Ooh, I don't like time walking.
No, so but once I got it figured out, this boat flat out flies.
Dang. Did you ever run an iBoat?
I did not.
Skeeter made an iBoat, man, and that was a battleship, man. That thing, I think it was made for the Great Lakes, actually.
I've heard nothing but good things about that I class.
That boat was bad to the bone on the Great Lakes, man. I mean, it was like when I fished on it on the river, I felt like I was 3 feet out of the water. It was really bizarre. I mean, you had a long way to go, but that's because it was built for big water. But it was a completely different ride. I mean, you just got up on the waves, man. It dominated on the Potomac in terms of riding rough water. It's one of the better rough water boats I've ever ridden in, aside from a Champion, but they don't make that haul anymore. I wonder what the best rough water boat is for the Great Lakes, if there's any. You know anybody with that 22-foot Ranger, that big battleship?
Yeah, there's a couple of guys up here in Wisconsin that have them.
Do they like them?
Yeah, they're great for the Great Lakes, but they're slow as hell.
Yeah, right. I mean, it takes you a while to get where you're going, but at least you get there comfortably, right?
There, I just put the link in.
Better
There you
boat.
go.
Better
What's it called?
boat. Better boat instant hull cleaner.
Boom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good price. I'd buy it.
Listen, I wouldn't tell you guys bullshit stuff. It literally really took care of it. And they have some soap I used, which is just soap, right? Let's be honest. I'm gonna give you another tip before the video comes out. And Gary, I want to hear all you guys' come. So clean your callings, and in the description or comments, let me know too. Here's what I use: straight vinegar. I think, in my opinion, will take any water spot, anything off you need. And it's cheap as hell. It's a natural.
Yeah, I mean, you mix it with like what? Do you mix?
Well,
it
you
with
can
water,
mix it with
to
distilled
spray on your
water,
screen?
50-50, and I use that for my
that's what I
screens.
mean.
But
Yeah.
if you have hard water stains on your calling or your power poles or whatever, you hit it with straight vinegar, and you just you take a cloth, and then you take a dry cloth, and you just. That's what I use.
You're
No
talking about
problem.
white vinegar. White vinegar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, vinegar works
Great
the
tip.
best.
You know, nothing against Bass Boat. What's that? Bass Boat Saver or you know
Boat sauce or whatever.
Hot
Yeah.
sauce.
McGuire's.
Sauce.
I mean, that works too, but Why pay $9 a bottle when you
Yeah.
can buy some vinegar at the grocery store for 99 cents for a gallon?
Oh,
I agree with you.
Jen Jiggs is saying mix vinegar with Rain-X. That's a great hack because then it keeps the water off your unit,
Ah.
the Rain-X. Oh,
Dude, I love it.
do tell, man. That's John.
Tim, how did you
from-
do? How did you do in the tournament? I know you were running way north too. Let me know in the comments.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, Trev.
It's Collins. Colin. I was saying it wrong. I catch myself. Gary, it's a Wisconsin thing, right?
Yeah.
We talk different up here.
Gotta own it, man.
That's right. Simple green.
Sure thing.
They have a bilge cleaner too that I use and liked it as well. So
Crazy.
that makes some good stuff.
He said he had 18 pounds.
Nice.
He said, LOL. Illinois representing the 18-pound bag.
Dude, 18's not. It
No
is
job
what it
change.
is. Shit.
Was
Who
there
else
like
you got
an
coming on tonight? Is it just BTC?
If he gets back to me.
Oh, he's sleeping, man. He looked like he was about to go out when he texted you.
That didn't look like he was sleeping. I don't know what he was doing.
Picture again.
He was all sweated up. He looked very tan. It looked like he was in the sauna almost.
I bet it was a hot tub.
Sauna.
Yeah.
Does he have a hot tub in the shop?
Does he?
I don't know. I'm asking
I
a
wouldn't
question.
be surprised.
I know. All sorts of improvements, man.
Heck yeah.
No. All right. Well, there you go. We're certainly not going to wrap up just yet, but Gary, you got to get to work tomorrow, don't you?
I do. You can
It's
let
a
me
school
know.
night.
It's a school night for Gary.
Actually, I'm in a hotel room right now in Wisconsin Rapids.
What?
Really?
I actually working on a project this week.
How about that?
Yeah, they put me back in the field this week because I need an extra hand. So
Wow.
HR duty, and I'm actually working.
Wow.
You're going out in the field again. Crazy.
Yeah,
How's your work with your fishing? Do they understand it?
my employer is awesome.
That's
Yeah.
all.
Cool.
Do they fish or do they just
They're
feel the passion from you? Do they know the tournament scene?
They do a little bit. It's a family-owned company. One of the owner's son is also a tournament fisherman, so he gets it.
Sure.
They know it's my hobby. I've been there for almost 28 years.
Oh,
I
damn.
paid plenty of dues, and they look out for me.
Sure.
That's
They really
awesome.
do.
Heck yeah.
Does the owner's son like give you an extra week of vacation if you show him a couple little tips and tricks or something?
Well, I've taken them out fishing a few times, and unfortunately, I find them on my shit. It's all good.
It happens. Oh man, that's funny. So Gary, if you let's say you made the elites, are they gonna how would you do that? Would you continue to work?
I would, but I'll have a lenient schedule with my employer. They'd rather have me there part-time than no time. So
Okay.
they'll work with me. They will.
Now,
Man,
as
that's
far
awesome.
as we know how much it's going to cost to fish, do you have that covered right now?
I do
Or
not
would
have
you
it
have to do
covered
some
right
more?
now. I've got some help. I obviously would have to reach out to a few people and see if I could get more help, but I think I'd be all right.
Okay.
Man, that's awesome, Gary.
Yeah.
You can always come work for Smallmouth Crush. Paying benefits over here, the best in the YouTube game. They're unrivaled, and I would certainly recommend it to anyone else out there.
Yes, yes.
You know, I the FLW tour back in 2006, and I chose not to do it, and I always regretted it.
Mm.
You know, and now if I was to make the elites and didn't do it, I don't know that I'd be able to live with myself.
Sure.
You'd have to.
You
Yeah.
know, I've had a lot of success in the tournament fishing. I've won a lot of tournaments. I mean, not to be bragging, but I think I got what it takes. I know it's a lot of hard work, and I know it's a lot of competition out there, and everybody in the elites can fish, but I just gotta try. You know what I mean? I'd be disappointed if I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Damn. You'll get there.
Sure will.
You'll get there.
I mean, they always say it's easier for the northern people to go south than the southern people to go north and catch them. So you certainly got that working in your favor as well. So
Yeah, and
Well, I hope there's some truth to that.
all right. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Gary. A lot
Yeah,
of good
Gary.
stuff from you.
Thanks for
Good
having-
finish this weekend. Glad to see you beat Travis. I was rooting for you.
He always beats me, guys. Jeez.
Travis is a good fisherman. He just got to clean his mind up a little bit.
that's a fact.
What does that even mean? All right, Gary. Have a good night.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Good night.
See you, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
The hell, clean mind. What the
It means not like stuttering on and rambling to yourself the whole day and like being so lost. in
I
what's-
like being me, okay? I
no,
do.
yeah, you got to. It's like
So
it's
he
just
said
what
you
works
did
for
like
you.
it, dude. He's just trying to give you advice on how to be a better angler. That's
I'm
it.
just so pissed at being a top fucking.
You want to win. You're tired
I
of
want
top
to win
tens.
tournaments, dude.
Yeah. Being a top 10 guy's hard.
No, it is. It's stupid, dude. You don't get it. when
Or
you got
top
that-
71. Top
It pisses-
71. Dude, I've been in business all the time, so I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
Pisses
I
me
get
off.
it. I get it. Yeah, I hate to lose. Yeah. I understand. I do. I'm just busting your chops, so.
Well, I think you have to think too. That's just part of the game. You got to determine what's a win
but
for
there's
you.
There's some dudes that are, man.
I mean, you look at KVD. What's that guy won like 6% of all the tournaments he's fishing? He's like the winningest tournament angler of all time.
No,
So
there's guys that do. Look at John Venor, who did well again on the Chesapeake. Like Johnny V could be a 12th place guy like me, but then the very next weekend he could win one where I'm still going to be an 8th.
sure.
Like, that's what frustrates me. I'm
So
literally.
what do
You
think
know
he
how many
does?
third
What
and
does he
fourth
do
place?
different? What does he do different than you to get the W?
No,
Gary
Does he
said
catch
you gotta
5
clean your
pounders
mind
on
up.
the flat?
don't know.
Ryan Salzman says you got to fish the moment.
One
You
thing that
gotta-
was
so I know one thing you're really, really proud of, that you cash checks
Every fucking
Ostensibly,
tournament, practically.
in 90% of your tournaments. You spend a lot of time practice. So
Which
to me,
lets
that
me keep
says
fishing, keeps the wife happy. You know.
that you fish conservatively, not to win, but to make sure you don't A, embarrass yourself for your Instagram crowd and YouTube crowd, and B, that you at least bring home some chicken money. And you're fishing.
Well, I
so
go
you're
for the
fishing.
win,
You're not
dude.
fishing for the win. You're
I
fishing.
am.
I don't think you are.
I am, and I
I
come
know.
up.
I think that's the story you're telling yourself.
Okay.
But I
I'm
think
listening.
I'm just saying until you really take that hard.
And Eric, I just want to make this disclaimer. I will listen to you because I'm trying to be open. Today at dinner upstairs with the parents, I freaked out when they turned the evening news on, and then I said, "Listen, am I wrong? Do I need to see a psychiatrist here, you guys?" Like I explained to him my concern, and I said, "It's real simple. It's common sense. This is how I feel. Do you not see this? And are you just playing to mess with me tonight? And if not, do I need serious help?"
And what was their answer?
Mom says I need serious help. So maybe I need some serious help, Eric. What do I gotta do?
If you've been paying attention to our conversations in my advice on the stream, I'm constantly trying to help you. And I think your parents said the same thing tonight. So, and Gary just said the same thing. That's 3 people, Gary, who you respect, your parents. I think you respect them. And I think you've said you respected me, and all 3 of us have said the exact same thing.
So do I need to see a professional?
Professional bass coach?
I don't know.
So, Travis, one thing, the big difference, I wanted to ask you guys a question, just never came up, but Do you think you catch too many fish in practice? I know in that Chesapeake video you caught like a 5-pounder in practice. You said you hooked every fish you caught, whereas Gary said he only hooked one. And I understand it's probably different with the bedding smallmouth when they
I
just
can
go
hook every
right back.
bed fish and catch them tomorrow.
Okay.
I need to know based on my weight points. I didn't agree with Gary's statement. I need to know based on my weight points how much weight I have, so I know how to. Especially if you're in a tournament where it's not late in the year, where it's right in the smack dab of the spawn. I need to know which beds to go to.
Yeah.
What are my top 5 biggest weights?
No, and dude, that's fair. I mean, look, you pretty much said you don't have a problem catching a fish you caught the day before. Smallmouths are there for 3 weeks to guard the bed. He may be a little trickier to catch the next day, but you've got these tactics to do it. You caught all the fish you wanted to catch, right? That you marked and you brought them in. They just weren't big enough. You need another 5 to do better. So you're right there. Yeah, man. You only had a day of practice. Sounds like Gary had a little bit more time to practice. Was that the difference? Yeah, now you're into the comments. So anyway.
Well, Jamie Newton brought up a good point too. He says, how do you think Venor would do if he wasn't fishing the bay as much as he does if he had to travel around? And I don't know. I don't know anything about the guy. Maybe he does do that and does perform other places. But you are,
Travis is a guide on the bay. So Alex, nice try, but don't sell crazy, okay? Travis is out there every day. I don't even think Venor is out there every day. Of course, he spends a lot of time on the water, but they're very different anglers.
Sure.
Very different anglers. And Travis, it's the guide's conundrum. Travis's job is to put people on fish. And they can't all be 5-pounders. So sometimes you're fishing for numbers, bites. If Johnny's out there, he's looking for the winning fish, right? So it's a different story. He doesn't guide. So that's the conundrum for the guide. Can guides win tournaments? Some people say it's really hard for a guide to win tournaments. Some people say the guide has the advantage. I don't know. 2 schools of thought, man.
It's interesting. Yeah, certainly they probably have a good pulse of what's going on, but it's not like they can go out the day before and shake off every fish because they got people paying them to go catch the fish. So the fish are going to be sore. They're not. You might have to find different areas. You might have to have
kind of
guide
like that
spots and tournament spots.
2 years ago, and we're in a marina, and Travis like, man, I caught 150 fish in this marina in the last 2 weeks, and I'm like, no wonder we only caught fucking 3. What are we doing here? So yeah, true. But he gets a rhythm for the fish. But for us, the fish, the rhythm he had going during the week, pressure made those fish turn negative, and so we didn't adjust. And that's the adjustments you make on the fly. Travis has made plenty of adjustments in tournaments. We talk about that. That's very common. What adjustments do you make? Sometimes we make the right adjustments, and sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're just not on the fish. There's no doubt we were fishing around the winning bag. He had a lot of great spots located, and that's because he put his time on the water. He understands where the better fish were. We just didn't present the way those fish wanted to eat that day. That's a fact.
Yeah. This last tournament, I wish I had, another 2 days of sunny, calm conditions, and then I would have busted them up, because when those conditions change, especially in a site event, it is a Great Lakes, so it's clear water, but still, man, you gotta. When it's sunny out and it's calm, you can see 50 to 60 yards.
That's crazy.
When it's cloudy and windy, you are looking right here.
It's crazy. Think about the sport. Think about the sport you're in trying to win. How many variables there are on your field of play. There can be a whole nother team in your area. Weather can change so you can't see what you were seeing before. It can blow your spot up. It can bring cloudy, can muck up a grass bed that had a giant bag in it. It's crazy, man. It's the toughest sport out there to win. Really is.
Yeah.
Really is, man.
Absolutely.
But I truly think, man, you fish to catch you fish. You're fishing to win for sure. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
But the thing that grinds you the most is I think you drive off a bridge if you caught 3 fish in a tournament.
Right.
You would never be able to live it down going for the win. You want to make sure you catch 5. That's definitely something you got to do.
In my mind.
I understand. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that goes through every tournament angler's mind. That goes through you,
Sure.
man. Super dude. You got a big reputation.
Yeah.
So are you really swinging for the fences?
Yeah, I luck out, dude, because I work so like you guys. And everyone knows, but I really mentally and everything, I'm exhausted after these events, and
Yes.
I put everything into it to take
Of course
10
you do.
because
Hey,
I
look,
love it. But
nobody-
I'm not complaining. I fucking love it.
Nobody's questioning your commitment, the energy. Nobody questions the time you spend to go do it. I mean, you practice for more than most people. Nobody questions that about your commitment, your energy, your passion, your intensity, your preparation, your organization. You're doing it all right. And look,
So if I'm doing all right, where are these wins?
dude, look, man, I'm not the guy to give you advice. I don't tournament fish as an individual angler. So you really shouldn't even be talking to me, and nor should I be doling out the advice. So I don't have the answer.
And I see in the comments like Dave, like I'm gonna call David Brown out. Travis, power fish cover more water. But I would lose what I am if I do that.
You can't change your stripes. It's like me. Somebody brought this up. I think I was I don't know, man. I was talking to Brian the Carpenter about Jason Christie talking to himself during the Classic, where he's like, he said the words to himself, and I'm begging him to pick up a Senko and skip a dock. Of course, I'm watching, you know, the guy that's about to win do it. And I'm like, why don't he just pick it up? And then he says the words. What am I going to do? Pick up a ferry one and skip a Senko under these docks? And the truth of the matter is, what brought him to that moment to lead the Classic was his power fishing. He's not going to turn into Travis Manson and on a dime, because his next skip of that chatterbait under a dock, and he's skipping it like a fiend, could be that 5-pound bite to win. Just didn't happen. So no, I don't think anybody's telling you to change your stripes.
Yeah.
But you can't. How do you do that? You're gonna fuck yourself up even worse.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, it could just be a timing thing too, Travis. I mean, you got 2 smallmouth events coming up, and those are right in your wheelhouse. I know obviously the Opens are not probably the hardest tournament in the country to win, but
You might win the next Open and qualify for the elites, man. And I'll have to take Slab Dynasty on the legendary lake.
Hey, how does Scott know I have compression socks on, by the way? These things are legit. So they're supposed to help me, because the doctor goes, he thinks I have leg problems because I stand so much.
I mean, if you're standing and not moving around.
I said, doctor, I've been standing all my life. This isn't because I'm standing.
You're getting older.
Dig deeper.
And nicotine, by the way, if you have any nicotine in your life, I don't know if you do, but that's a really bad vasoconstrictor. And so that's
coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, nicotine is probably the worst thing in the world for
you. They say I have high blood pressure.
You have well, that could be stress
and high cholesterol.
You eat pretty clean, but that's just genetics, maybe.
Not genetics. And then my mom says I have to cut back on salt, and I go, "Are you kidding me? Salt is what you need." And then we went off on this whole salt thing. Anyways,
they diagnosed you with high blood pressure?
No. It was just high, they said. But they just want to get me on statin drugs because that's what they do. It's a business.
Listen, you're being really sketchy.
They keep lowering the blood pressure standards so they can get more people on pills. My blood pressure's fine in my mind. Doc didn't like it.
Okay, so you got. He
doesn't understand. I get worked up. It's not because
Travis, you are
right now. My blood pressure is probably high.
Honestly, you're probably one of the most stressed out people I know.
But I'm not.
It comes across. It does come across that way. You're like high T. You just need to take a chill pill, relax, take a deep breath.
When it comes to dumb things, yeah, like fishing. Who gives a fuck?
No, you don't think you have a high stress and tension level in your life? I see you go through more fits of anger in an 8-hour period than anybody I know. You're the angriest person I know. Why are you so damn angry, man?
So, we got a quick break here. Dustin Taylor sent in a super chat. Thank you, Dustin. He wants to know, Travis, he's going out on his first ever guide trip with the Small Jaws guide service out of, that's a big word I don't know how to read, something to Raleigh's Bay in Door County Thursday. What is your advice on tip etiquette for him to give the guide? I assume as a guide yourself, you'd probably say about a 200% tip would be fair, and that most guides expect that.
Man,
people are telling you to smoke some weed, dude. Chill that shit out, man.
I wouldn't know how, but I'd try, man. I'd try it.
Eat some edibles, bro. You don't need to smoke it.
I'd probably rather smoke it than eat it.
You would?
I don't
What's the
know.
difference?
I don't know anything about drugs, dude. I don't know.
Have you ever tried any CBD oil just to chill you and smooth you out?
Yeah, Joe Raymond got me on it.
Did it work?
He gave me
like,
some, and it put me to sleep quick. But I don't have a problem falling asleep. But it
you have
definitely
a problem
put me to
waking
sleep.
up 3 and 4 times a night because you can't breathe.
No. And then so I thought, well, this is cool. He's into it. So I went down and researched some of the best CBD oil, like because I found that there's different, quality and stuff like that. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna get the $200 bottle, right? So I drive down to this place in Philly and grab it, and I took some, and I've started getting dizzy, dude. And I'm like, well, this ain't gonna work, and I haven't tried it since.
So Travis, Rhino Joe gave a $5 chat.
Thanks,
He
Rhino.
asked if you've tried low carb or keto, and you were on keto.
I'm back on keto now.
Yeah.
But I love salt.
Travis eats pretty damn clean. I don't know why you have high cholesterol.
It's just a gimmick to get me on statin drugs, dude.
How was your LDL, your HDL, all that stuff?
Oh no, I called them last week to send me this freaking report.
Well, have you taken your reports to your natural path?
280 or something was the cholesterol.
Have you taken the reports from the regular doctors that I know you don't believe in to your trusted natural?
No, I'm fishing and in Wisconsin at the Classic. I haven't had time.
Okay, but is that your plan to take the reports that you got, whether they're inflated or not, to try to? It's a trick to get you on drugs, but are you going to take that information and take it to your network?
Eric, my point is my leg isn't acting up because of high cholesterol. Something's wrong.
So how do you find the answer if you don't trust the Western medicine doctor?
I scheduled
where do you go? A shaman?
Scheduled an eco scan or something when I get home on Tuesday. Not next week, but the following.
You mean to see like a hummingbird image 360 of your leg?
My fucking leg, yes.
Okay. What if there's a log in there or something?
Well, there's probably a fucking tumor because hear me out. I haven't touched it since, but I've bumped it a few times and I'm getting all paranoid. 3 days ago, I pressed really hard in this certain spot here and there was some pain.
You just didn't have a sore muscle?
I bumped it a few times, dude, and it hurts.
Is it on your shin and your bone?
I'm not looking. I'm not going to worry about it until I get home.
Okay. Well, why are we talking about it?
I don't know. You brought it up.
Okay. So real quick, we do need to go back and answer Dustin's question because you got off on the weed tangent there for a little bit. So do you have an advice on tip etiquette for someone going on a guide trip?
No, but I have a rattlesnake head.
That's so
Who's got a rattlesnake head?
That's random, man. That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
That's very cool, dude.
That's been here for years. Island just sits here on their desk. I'm in the den anyways here. We call it the den growing up. Tip etiquette. So pay them the gas money and tips. So if he runs 30 miles, give him 60, 70 bucks.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Basically just like being a co-angler, I guess.
Could that thing in your leg be an implant from the aliens when they
Rich says bone cancer?
What, Travis? When you got
what?
No, Travis, don't read the comments. Here's what I think happened. Remember that time you were driving along that lake and then all of a sudden you were 3 hours away someplace else? You definitely got an alien implant in your leg. They can take it out. Don't worry. That's all it is, man.
Rich, are you messing with me, bro? Or does he know something?
He doesn't. He doesn't.
He's messing with you.
Because that's what I'm thinking.
Don't get ahead of yourself, bro.
All right.
That's BTC. Get him in here.
You know I've been dealing with this for months now, Eric.
I know. Get BTC in here. Stop talking about it. It is what it is. You'll figure it out soon enough. You're reading the comments again. Get out of the comments.
How about the ankle bone that's connected to the shin? Anyway,
we all
learned that something too.
Get BTC on and stop reading, bro.
It's not a blood clot. I don't think my I went to the heart guy, the leg guy. He says it's not a. He doesn't think it's a blood clot.
So it's not a blood clot. Good to go.
Did I show you my new river rat sticker, bro?
No,
You did
but while
not.
you're doing that, have you ever seen a hook that big?
That's a shark hook, man. That thing is monstrous.
Mm.
What is that? A sturgeon hook?
No, I don't know. It's been hanging on this wall for years.
Decoration.
There's a lot of cool stuff in the den. You know what's really cool? I'll share with you. My dad, I grew up reading.
That's
these
awesome.
books.
Goonie Wolf
Oh,
again.
that is cool.
Isn't that cool? Hold on. I'm getting the shine on the light. Sorry, guys. River rat. He's got the tattoo on his arm. A little crankbait, got the buzzbait flying.
I like it.
Tug life.
Cinco.
Yeah, man. River rat. Goonie Wolf, man. The slaps will be up soon on the website. Here's a little mini one.
Awesome.
2 sizes, bro. There you go. You can
Ooh.
get that one better. Let's see.
Dave Jones at Texas Roadhouse, huh? Anyways,
Nice, man.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, Ray Stickle, man.
hey, check it out.
Printed them up, dude.
So we have all these old books here. Wolf and coyote trapping. Ginseng and other medical plants.
Medicinal.
Medicinal.
No, I'm just reading it from the camera. No, like I read some of these books growing up. Like it's crazy. My dad's got these old 50 years a hunter and trapper.
That's so
Isn't that
cool,
great?
man.
Like, yeah.
Pretty cool.
I'll give you a tour of the den here. Hold on. Ready? All right. So right there is a black duck I shot on Lake Poygan. We accidentally trapped that wood duck in a muskrat trap. It was a wood duck that was trapped. And I thought that was the coolest thing. So my dad mounted it for me. Then we have a jackalope over there and a couple deer. And then I guess that's about it. Anyways, there you go.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
So Eric, I see you typing away there, but I'm sure you noticed this in the classic, Justin Kerr, who, by the way, we've tried to get him on the SmallmouthCrush podcast like 5 times. He does not check his Instagram DMs. If anyone knows how to get a hold of him, please let us know. Justin Kerr. But he finished 4th in the classic, and his 2 main baits were a rat and a jig and pig. I was wondering if
He threw the rat. He did not throw the rat.
Yep.
Dude, no
Threw
way.
the rat. I'm not making it up. He threw the rat. I was wondering if he caught that. I guess not.
Did he catch any on it?
Yeah.
What?
He was throwing a jig with Uncle Josh's pork and a rat. Those were his 2 main baits in the bushes.
And he finished 2nd?
No, it was like 4th.
But that's
But-
the time. No,
I mean, yeah.
wait, I got to go back and watch the live cut. Did they show him catching any on the rat?
I don't know. I wasn't able to watch a lot of the live, but I saw they talked about that, and he put it in the picture of his top baits, and he had, I think the second day he had 4 fish for like 19 pounds. I think one of them died on him. So like the guy, he had a pretty stout sack
That's
on the
great.
rat.
I can't wait to shoot a rat video, dude. I'm
With
shooting
who?
soon. All rats, nothing but rats, man. Big 5
Big
ounce.
smallmouth.
Dude, I don't
Eric,
know if they'd eat it, but why
If you
wouldn't?
wanna try that, I'm in.
I'll try it. I'll try any crazy
Why
bait.
not?
I'll go throw big glide baits up there for them.
And if you want to learn about mink trapping, I got
dude, I need some of those books, man, for my Deep Creek Lake, man. That's all.
No, these books are cool, dude. I'm gonna read them today. I read a few. Anyways, I don't know about BTC. Eric, talk to me about your tournaments. We even get to your week. Like, where have you been the last 2 weeks? Because I thought we were.
It's a blur, man. Hold on, I'm just responding. Send the pics. Hold on.
First
dude,
of all, before you go there, Eric, I'm serious about the rat.
Me too.
If you think there's a chance that we could get a smallmouth to commit to a rat, which you do,
Where do you
clear
think?
water, Great Lakes.
Oh God, if it's clear water, do they eat at top water?
They will.
You got to take me to a place where you know they're going to come up and look up.
They'll eat top water out there.
Do they like wolf pack at all? Like cruise the bank in wolf packs, and like would they smash a topwater bait, a popper? Because they got to look up, man. I mean, if it's going to happen.
I'm talking about your weird rat baits. That are like this big and they got that big lip on it and they got a pink tail, like that kind.
That's the one I'm talking about. I
Okay.
got Nizuma rats. I got
I'm not talking about a mini rat. I want to throw one of
No,
your
I
rats
got
that
the
you're
big
so
rat.
proud of. Okay.
Yeah, I got the big rats, man. Yeah. I mean, and if there's largemouth in the area, that would be cool. I mean, up at Will's, like in that backwater, those largies would crush it. Summertime. They would, I don't know if you get much, through it, but hey, Jamie Newton just sent me a picture of the rat. That's
All right.
crazy.
Heck yeah.
Holy man. Wow. That was a big rat, dude, Jamie. Holy moly. Sorry for the camera craziness.
Eric, have you ever heard of a technique called mid-strolling?
No.
So, in that tournament,
Strolling, but not mid-strolling.
I really forgot.
so in the Chickamauga event that KVD won, Shinfu Kai, he had a good event. And the way I understood it to be is he's basically like casting a Nico rig out there and reeling it in like halfway through the water column and like just jigging his rod up and down the whole time. And he was killing him on it. But I guess he had like some weird line or something. It sounded like something you might have an idea of. I wondered if you'd ever heard of it. I guess it's like straight from Japan.
I actually did read about that. I don't know. It was about a couple months ago. I don't know where I read it, man. Was it on like Bassmaster or something like that? They were talking about different techniques. I don't remember where I read it, but now that you mention it, did they make it was a Japanese angler, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who was it? Was it Shin?
Shinfu Kai, yeah.
Yeah, Shinfu Kai. Anyway, man.
What was that rat I bought, Eric, 2 years ago from that guy up in the New England Sports Show? I showed you it.
Oh man, what was it called? You brought a black one and a white one. I got the white.
He's like
dirty rat.
Maybe.
Yeah, I wish I was in my studio. I got it down there, man. Crazy.
You should do that. I really do. That would actually be pretty cool.
To get a big smallmouth to like,
yeah,
they're the bites on a rat are just they're just so vicious, man. When I was down in Florida throwing it with Brett Anderson, man, he was hypnotized by the rat walking, first of all. And several of those fish just uncorked on it, like came unglued. And it's just really good, like when they wolf pack on some of the bigger lakes, like, when they're wolf packing, looking for destroying fish on the beds. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Awesome.
So Jen was using sinking bread to suspend the Nico and was shaking it through suspended fish, because suspended fish are the toughest to catch, right? I think we all know that. So that's pretty crazy, man. I've never even heard of that technique with sinking braid, like an 832 suffix that has that one strand or a couple strands to help that braid sink. There must be another sinking braid. I've never find sinking braid. That's wild. Kind of makes sense. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard like inchy wacky before, and it's just weighted wacky, but it's with the weighted wacky hook, right? Several companies make them. There's a lot of custom people that make it out there.
OD rat.
But OD rat, that was it. The inchy wacky rig is like, you cast it to suspended fish and you're shaking it through the school, and then you're reeling as you're shaking. So the bait's not on the bottom. You can keep it at any depth level. Flick shaking. Anyway, damn, Jamie New's got the info. Japanese YGK braid. Never heard of it. That's all new to me, man.
Wow.
Cuckoo.
Oh, man.
Too many techniques, man. But that would be fun to like unlock the potential of suspended fish.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sure.
Yeah, so Travis, one of our tournaments, I think I mentioned it earlier, it was a sight fishing tournament. We spent 2 days locating, bedding fish. We had good marks. Really thought we had a chance to do well. The missile baits tournament literally wiped out our fish. We talked about it. Like, should we go for the because each of those tournaments that we were going to fish paid $5,000. Should we, fish for $2,000 or $5K? And we knew the risk, and man, we got devastated. They went out of the same area that we found our fish in. So almost 170 boats just destroyed, and we had no backup plan to work on really that was strong enough to keep competitive. Yep.
That's fishing. I mean, it's like you're just talking about how hard it is to win. You could have been on the winning fish tournament the day before, just wipes them all out, and then you're pretty much screwed.
Our next tournament on Kerr, again, 2 days of practice, found the winning fish. I can't really talk about the pattern. And
Why?
I've never, because I can't. It's not my pattern. I will not mention a word of it. I won't tell you what I was throwing. I won't tell you what we were doing. I won't tell you where we were fishing. But Scooter looked at me and said, "We got a shot at winning. I think we can win." Like, I've never heard him utter the words going into a tournament. He has never said it to me in 3 years of fishing team tournaments with him, Travis. And a major lightning storm rolled through our area, and clearly our fish were shallow, and they ghosted. Couldn't find them. Gone. Grass fish gone.
I'm just looking through the
Never seen anything like it, Alex. Gone.
Pretty cool stuff.
3s, 4s, and 5s gone.
Where do you think they go? They just pull out and suspend out there? Do they?
Yep, probably. Which are the hardest fish to catch,
right?
And Scooter's not going to sit there and throw sinking braid, shaking a little wacky worm through him. He's a power fisherman. Travis, is that like a antique?
How old is that bullet?
I would not put that in my head. That would sketch me out. Yeah.
That's a shotgun shell.
Jeez. All kinds
Gonna
of shit.
blow up on you.
Travis, what are you like in some crazy drawer down there?
I'm on the desk drawer that's in the den.
How was that shotgun shell?
There's a 1982 Trappers Convention pin. And here's the cool part, and I haven't done this in 10 years. There's a turkey call. Let's see if I still got it, guys. You ready?
Oh,
15 years, bro. 15 years.
I think you put him backwards.
I don't know.
All right, give him a ring. Pretty good.
That's pretty, yeah.
I'm pretty good, yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
for
damn
15 years, yeah. That's
Bro,
pretty
I
impressive.
got it, bro. Like, here's the thing, bro.
Pretty good.
I'm country, bro. I fish and I can hunt like a mofo. Hardcore, bro. I don't think what this call is, but
That wood duck?
Is that a crow call?
No, rabbit. Here's an owl call, but I do an owl better with my voice, but oh, that's a snow goose call. Never mind. I don't know what's in the drawer, bro. Oh, here we go. Ready? How about a gray fox pup cassette?
No way.
Called Gray Foxes and Other Predators.
Dude, I wish we could hear that. That's crazy.
Do you even have something that could play that?
With batteries?
What can we find in this drawer? Anyways. Cool shit. Oh, here's the owl call. I sound much better than this.
That's way better. That's a way better owl, man.
Yes. Anyway. What else we got?
Know.
Here's something you don't see every day.
What's that?
Hello? Oh, it's for you. You got to come over here. Cord's only this long.
Mom, meatloaf.
Oh, man.
That's some good stuff, man. So no BTC.
No, dude.
Okay, he's out. People enjoy that, man. That's funny. That's a good riff, dude.
Yeah. That's an OT mixtape. That's funny.
They say you're going to call all the game into the garden and you're going to have hell to pay in the morning for
Oh, shit, dude. I can't believe it's my mom. She'll kill anything that walks on this property. And it's like, let the raccoon, they were so cute, dude. And I really wanted to grab one and try to make it my friend and, hang out with it. You ever hear, the, Rascal the Raccoon, bro.
would you nurse the raccoon? Would you, if needed, would you let him get on your teat? And if you could express some man milk for him to nurse him back to life from his mouth.
From steel shot. From
If anybody out there has graphic skills, can you please make a picture of Travis befriending a baby raccoon? I'd pay good money to see that. Anyone out there with the skills, please make it happen.
When I move to New York, I'm definitely going to have a pet raccoon.
You are.
And a crow. If you cut their tongues, a crow's tongue, they'll actually talk like a parrot.
Have you seen that done? Like,
It's a fact, Alex.
oh, gotcha.
It's a fact.
Does it hurt?
How long? Go ahead, Eric.
No, I just wondered who you hold the 30-06, maybe? Do you hold the crow down? What is that, Travis?
It says it's a. I don't know. It's
What was popping out of that thing?
something pops out.
What is it? Show it to us.
It's a Mexican mouse trap.
A Mexican mouse trap?
Yeah, I didn't know, bro.
Is that like a little? Is it like a little stabber? What
Looks
is
like
it?
a prank thing, yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got it.
You get someone to open it up and boom.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Trout
that's
Lake.
funny. Got a mouse in it.
Yeah.
What's that one? Trout Lake?
Map of Trout Lake way up north.
This is fascinating, man.
You got to come up here, Eric. It's pretty cool.
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, some people are asking if you want a raven instead of a crow. I don't know the difference. I think the raven is bigger.
Ravens are cool.
Ravens are they as smart as a crow? The raven.
Man, I don't know. They're more of a instead of a caw, caw. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Did you make the crow sound when we were driving back to New York? You were all jacked up on that sugar, and I kind of woke up out of the sleep, and all of a sudden Travis has got these wild eyes, and he looks at me and goes,
I love crows, bro.
I think you made the crow sound during the drive.
I'm part crow.
Oh, did you watch the movie The Black Crow?
No.
You gotta watch. You don't watch movies, but
What's it about?
it's pretty cool, man. Just watch it. It's called The Crow. Not Black.
Here's
The Crow.
Here's a tag off of an old trophy I won.
What does it say? I can't read it.
It says 1990 Upper Class Fishing Club Kids Fishery Biggest Fish.
Boom.
Take that.
Unbelievable.
Check since 1990.
Unreal, man.
Is that the last time you caught a lunker in a tournament?
Maybe. No, I caught a couple.
You got a spyglass there.
Oh, scopes, I guess.
Oh, it's a scope.
I don't know what they got in here, dude. They got 20 gauge shells. They got 12 gauge shells. Oh, here's something cool. You guys, I used to trap, and if this is what I think it is, yep, it's got my name on it. So these are the little tags you put on your trap so they know who you were. It's got your name and address.
So now everybody knows your parents' address.
Yeah, Woodland Road. Go check it out.
That's crazy.
They got plenty of guns here.
I was say, after digging through that drawer, I don't think anyone's gonna show up.
Dude, they got a sign outside that says, "We don't call 911 with a gun next to it."
Yep.
Nice.
It's different out here, bro.
Parents are real bad. I'm telling you, it is. Hey, TK says we want to be a real badass. Get a pet buzzard.
A vulture?
Yeah,
It would be pretty badass.
it would be.
I never even thought of that. Dude, those things are so
People are
finicky.
remarkable.
I don't know if they'd get along with humans at all, even at a young age.
Vulture.
Where a crow will chill, man. A crow will hang out, will come back to sleep in a cage, and he'll fly out and do this thing, grab shiny objects and shit, and then you'll come back with all these different coins and in tin foil and whatever you want. And he just has fun. He just goes out and scavenges, and he always comes back to his home. Where I don't think a vulture would do that.
What do you feed the crow, man? Well, no, if you're serving up a nice steak to the vulture, he's coming back, bro. That way, you didn't have to wait for something to die and fly around on the thermals.
It
above
would
your
be
house.
kick ass. It would be kick ass. Did I tell you about the turkey we found in the backyard? My parents wouldn't let me get a shotgun in time this morning.
Yeah.
It had a beard about that long.
Is that a mount?
No, this isn't a real. I don't know what this is. It was just sitting here. I thought I'd grab it and show you.
Beard real? The beard looks pretty real, though. Is
There's
that a
all
real
kinds
turkey
of
beard?
shit here.
Is that legit?
I don't think so.
No, the beard. You know the beard on a turkey, right? Is it a real beard? Maybe it could be.
Yeah, I'm looking at a turkey right over here that's mounted.
Show us.
All right, hold on, because it's a funny story.
Okay. He won't turn the camera, which makes me wondering who's hanging on the wall.
No, it's just
Turkey mouth, people's heads.
This was a hunt many years ago. So my mom shot this Tom, and that's the tail feathers. Okay. Yep. This is my spurs from a turkey I shot that week, and then this is the beard from the turkey my dad shot. So it's all three different items from a hunt we did in 1 week.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's very cool.
Cool. What do we got here in the comments? This is killing me.
I don't know if you saw it earlier. TK was talking about your tournament finishes. Like, a lot of people have found that if they have a blacked out jack plate, that they'll finish a lot higher just because the fish can't see the shine off of it, and it helps them be a little more stealthy. So maybe next year, if you consider a blacked out jack plate, that probably could help you.
I totally buy that. I don't like any silver.
Why do you keep cleaning yours?
What's that?
Leave it gold or dirt brown.
Yeah,
a lot less.
I don't like any shiny stuff on your trolling motor. Like if you use any of those
eliminators.
Yeah,
prop nut.
That. Everything should be blacked out. I don't want anything shiny on the
Is the black hull best?
Yes, absolutely. Yep. And here's another tip. God, there's so many tips I could give you guys. I saw people bed fishing yesterday in bright colored clothes.
Crazy.
Doesn't make sense to me.
Me either.
Don't do that.
All right. So are you trying to blend in with the sky?
With the sky. Yes.
Yeah.
And that goes for any time you're fishing.
Sure.
Don't wear blaze orange.
Unless you're turkey hunting or deer hunting.
All right.
You don't want your mom shooting your head off.
Hold on. Somebody said about my leg falling off and a buzzard eating it. That actually was a concern. I was thinking yesterday, how the fuck am I going to do this in a wheelchair? And then I got so pissed off.
Travis, this is what Gary is trying to tell you. You actually thought about how are you going to do it?
I did. Yes, I did, Eric. I go, how am I going to launch the boat if I don't have fucking legs?
Dude, you need to seek professional help because you got way too many thoughts rolling through that brain of yours.
You know what, Eric? And
you need to calm your mind.
How?
Therapy, man.
With who?
Nope.
I'm going to say it.
Go to a natural
some liberal chick that has no clue what's going on in my mind and thinks she can correct me. I need to go to someone that can relate to me, who's been there and can say, listen, dude, you shouldn't be thinking about if you had no legs, how would you launch your boat today? You should be thinking about how you're going to jack on 6-pounders.
Right.
Could ask Gary. He might be seems like he's been there. He seems like you're good friends with him. He understands you. He seems pretty calm, reserved. I don't see why not.
Hey, swim school says there are dogs that are cancer smellers. They can smell cancer. Maybe you can go to a dog who can smell cancer.
I don't have any blood cancer. That's what the doctor said.
No, we're talking about bone cancer. I think they have dogs that can smell different types of cancer. If you don't want to go to like the regular doctors who could see it, but you're going to get that scan of your leg, right?
Yeah.
Well, just for now, man, nothing you can do about it if you got it. Just chill. Try to ease your mind.
You got to think too, like, what does all the worrying do? What does that help? It's not going to fix your leg. It's not going to help you catch a 6-pounder.
I wasn't worried about losing my legs. I was bitching about losing my legs.
So what's that going to do about it? It's not going to fix your legs. It's not going to help you catch 6-pounder.
I'll just be pissed if I'm a legless fisherman. That's all. We'll see. I got my
You
compression
have
socks
your leg.
on, bro. I got my compression socks on.
Dude, I think you got to really, there's a great book, man. It was called Controlling Stress and Tension by Dr. Allen. It's one of the best books I've ever read.
Really? Over
Maybe-
business books?
Nope. No,
I
just
mean over business books that you've read. This is better than business books?
100%. Best book I ever read from a personal health perspective.
Really?
Best course I ever took in college. Yep. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Changed my life. Great read. Controlling Stress and Tension by Dr. I can't remember his first name, Dr. Allen. I don't know if it's still relevant today, but I still use some of the same techniques, man. It has a great relaxation technique. It's, no drugs. It's a breathing technique. Anyway, think about it.
Yeah. Let's worry about next in 2 weeks.
Okay.
I mean, the good news is, Eric, honestly, that I'm glad the blood work came back as nothing except high cholesterol, which isn't real, and then some high blood pressure here and there. I'm fine.
That's not real either.
They keep lowering the blood pressure number.
I gotcha.
So.
And that's just a scam too.
And he doesn't understand that I don't go to doctors, so I'm a little pumped up and stressed out sitting in front of some guy examining me in an office. That's why my blood pressure's high right now, dude.
Travis, I got news for you, man. You're stressed out all the time.
And I'm just telling you why it was high at that moment when he took it in my mind.
Have you tried to take your blood pressure when you're amped up at a doctor's office and see what it registers?
Not yet.
Do you want to explore that a little bit?
Maybe. No, all I'm saying is I'm glad blood work came back negative, and I've been to 2 specialists with this leg, and they can't seem to understand what's wrong with me.
Well, that's good.
And so that's probably a good thing. So it's either really, really rare or it's all in my head. We'll find out.
Right.
And we'll tell. Did I tell you I had a deer tick in my hand the other day too now?
You have a toothpick?
A deer tick.
In your hand?
Another one. Remember last year in Alabama when I had one in down yonder? Well, I had another one the other day.
A deer tick, you found it biting on your hand?
Yeah, because I went in the woods looking for those cicadas. So I grabbed like 10 of them. I put them in a jar, and that's when that deer tick got me, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Was it carrying the thing?
Oh, it was just in the bushes.
Did you get a big old red ring around it or anything like that?
No, I pulled them out. I still see it right now, the ring. That was a week ago. But they tested me for Lyme's too, and it came back negative.
Good news.
Yeah.
You're clean, bro.
Clean. I'm clean.
Got to work on this.
That's right.
Just work on the noodle, man. That's all.
Breathe.
Just breathe, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Control the controllables, man.
You'll be all right.
Yes. Yes.
Anyways, well, I'll let you guys get going. I know you got a lot of stuff to do down on the shore, and big day tomorrow, Eric. Can't call me the last 2 weeks.
I got stuff.
Eric, we literally haven't talked since the last live, which was 2 weeks ago.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts. What have you been doing? You were at the Classic. You just went dark at the Classic. I didn't bother you. I figured I knew I wouldn't get through to you then. I thought you'd call me with some update. Maybe you'd you'd FaceTime me, show me a little bit of action.
No.
Zero. Reach out, man. Nada.
No.
That was disappointing. You didn't let me in, bro. Alex, you get a call?
I got a text that said, "Hey, can you make me a thumbnail on an Instagram post?" Which I happily did, but I understand. I mean, he's a busy guy. It's not like
he's busy.
I got it.
He worked hard down there at that Classic.
Yeah, would you get up at like 3:30 every day to go hand out the hats and a bunch of craziness?
I didn't get up. I just went down to the lobby. Okay.
Yeah. Classic equals
there was no sleep.
EARTY. It ain't WORK. Party.
I don't think I need a glass pipe, Scott, with some good weed. What I need is some
What do you?
ayahuasca. I need DMT. I want to start talking to like the fairies and the all the little people out there, man. I want to have that experience.
Mushrooms?
That too, man. That's what I want. That's my next step.
Mushroom.
I meant like the
I'm gonna
drug
skip the weed,
mushrooms,
I'm gonna
not
go straight
taking
there.
one.
No, not foraging for edibles in the forest, but no, like he's talking about the psychedelic mushrooms.
Yeah,
That's what I thought you were saying.
that's what I want. I'm not ready for tea.
I don't know where this is going, man, but
Eric, if you haven't used it, the people that have used it, they actually are able to have communications with different dimensions and different people in different dimensions. And they really feel satisfied with their lives afterwards and understanding the universe and how things work. Like that's why the government doesn't want us to have any. Because once we start doing just like when they introduced acid back in the 60s and realized that people were like, wow, this stuff's legit. It's amazing. We can understand what the universe is all about. They said, oh, we fucked up. Let's introduce cocaine and heroin now. And that's what they did. They're not.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Right.
And I'm really glad you painted the picture. Now I feel really free. I understand the world. What the fuck? What have you been reading, dude? You're more lost than ever now.
Oh my God. Have I once brought up politics yet? Now's the time to do it, but I haven't.
I don't know. Wow.
Have I brought up Dr. Fauci? Zero.
I missed the boat, man. Guess I should have dropped some acid. What?
Yeah.
On some trip?
Eric, I would love it if both of us could go to one of these.
Travis, you could just fucking stop talking like that. I'm not going to a rave with you.
You and me. Not a rave. No. It would be like a compound where it would be you and
Travis,
me.
Travis, I'm not going to some fucking compound. It's called a cult, is what you're saying. It'd be really great for Eric and me. What the fuck are you talking about?
We get to know ourselves, dude. Like,
dude, I know who I am. What the fuck?
Eternal, like,
you are out of, dude. You're on some other planet now. What happened to you at the Classic? You want me to go with you to some cult compound to like get to know ourselves through some drug
ayahuasca?
What the fuck?
Sit in a circle.
Nah.
And then
Alex, you down? Because
talk
Travis,
about your experience.
I think I'm busy that weekend, but I'll be glad to hear the story on the Monday live.
All right, fine.
Oh man, Travis, good luck with all that, man.
I gotta ask you, Eric, behind your left shoulder, above the sliding door, what is that?
It's a wood carving
of a whale,
of a bird. If you look at it one way, it can look like a whale. If you look at the other way, it look like a bird. I thought it was a really cool carving.
Oh shit, it does look like a bird.
Yeah.
You show that.
$45.
That is pretty.
That is a good deal.
That was a great deal, man. It's a really pretty piece of wood, man. It was in a surf shop, and I'm like, dude, how much you want for that? He goes, give me 45. I'm like, deal. It's a cool piece of art, man. I love wood. I love art, so. Yep.
Huh.
Well, Travis, if you end up doing that, let us know how it goes, man. People, I'm sure would be.
I will, Eric, someday. I promise you that. It will happen.
Is it going to be a mushroom trip?
No, I think I want the real stuff, DMT.
Gotcha.
Yep.
All right.
It just allows you to calm everything, and you're one with the universe. You're one with everything, and the experiences that people have when they talk about it, like it blows your mind. Like, YouTube it.
No, I mean, there's a new body of research, for people that suffer from anxiety. I think they're using I forget what it is. Is it ecstasy? But it's controlled, and people are really benefiting from it.
Chad goes, dude messed up. He made a whale and called. Dude messed up a whale, called it a bird. And sold it. didn't.
Yeah. Hey,
I honestly thought it was like a sperm whale, you know?
somebody's been
Looks like a
somebody
sperm
said
whale.
you've been watching Joe Rogan. Is this what Rogan is prescribing for his,
I do
listeners?
listen to Joe every once in a while. I know he does. He's dabbled in it. A lot of his guests do. Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Oh, swim school, ketamine. Anyway, no, there's a lot of people that suffer from anxiety, and I mean, if you think about the world these days, right, with a lot of the things that have been going on, you know, social isolation, a lot of political hate, all the things that Travis is preaching, you know, people have lost their way. So
Yeah.
you know.
And Tim goes, high end psychedelics are not a joke. I'm not doing it to party. He goes, they're not for partying. I understand it. It's for understanding where we are as humans on this planet in the universe. And obviously,
Well, without the drugs, why do you think we're here? Like, I mean, why do you think you're here?
I think we're, man, that's deep, Eric, man.
Well, no, I'm just saying, I mean, now you're a dad, so you had 2 children, you brought 2 children into this world. What's your purpose right now? What legacy do you want to leave? How do you want to be remembered? What difference do you want to make in the world aside from bringing 2 kids into it?
Man, so I understand where you're going with
I
this.
mean, like what would you like to change right now about this world, this country, your community?
No, again, and I'll go back to this because I was
Do
thinking.
you want to make an impact? Is there something you want to improve? Is there anything you can think of? I know you want to be a better angler and win a tournament. I know you want to grow your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I know you want to go sit in a room and take whatever it was, DMT.
Yeah.
But what's that going to do?
I really
So
want.
once you find your purpose, what will you do with that new knowledge and awakening that you?
I already know my purpose. And
what is your purpose? Tell us.
I just enjoy fishing, dude, and that's what I want to do with
So
my
that's
life.
your purpose. That's all about you. That's it.
It's a bad thing.
No, I just said, well, it's a self-centered thing. It's just you.
Okay.
So you just want to fish.
I do, and yeah, man.
Got
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm obsessed with it.
Nah, your purpose is to be a fisherman. I mean, that's.
I really think that's what it is, and I'm grateful for it. I'm happy. I'm not complaining. It's a frustrating deal. I'm making it
But
work.
that's all it is. That's all your purpose is.
Yeah. Whenever I launch the boat, Eric, I'm not mad. I'm not pissed. If I got a guy that I don't. Yeah. If I had a guy.
I don't know about that.
No, hold on. If I had a guy trip tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. right now, I'd be like, God, I do not want to. But once I'm doing it or I'm driving there, I'm ready. When I hit that water, dude, I'm just boom. And that's what I love. So I want to stay in that realm. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's my purpose is to fish. And I'm so, like, I'm worried about, like, I better be able to fish once I die. I know there's something more than just this. I don't believe just
about that.
I know you just don't disappear. Okay. I know there's something. I may not believe in, you know, the religions of today or man-made religions, but I know I have a pretty good feeling what's going on after you die and how it works. And man, like, I don't want to come back and decide, okay, on this life, I want to fish, dude. Like, does that make sense?
As long as it makes sense to you.
Well,
I mean,
most of us in this live stream, yourself, Alex, we're obsessed with this. This isn't a hobby, right? It's more than a hobby.
No, it's a passion.
It is. And we're lucky to have that. Now, if there's other passions out there that we have no idea about. Like, I don't know. I used this before. Dirt bikes to
people have all sorts of passions.
Everything, golf, like hardcore. I'm glad I'm guessing, I'm making a number. There's what, 20% of the world's population has a true passion? Probably, maybe, right? There's not a lot of people that, you know, there's a lot of people that just go through life and go through the motions.
Sure.
They don't have that extra drive or not drive, but passion about life, right? They go to work, blah, blah, blah. They come home, they make dinner, they watch TV, repeat. Their weekends are scattered. They could hang out with friends, go to the mall. Like, they don't have like, boom, boom. So I think we're fortunate. I know a lot of you guys watching this are in the same boat. as far as, you know, the passion when it comes to fishing or the outdoors or whatever. And so I think it's pretty, I don't take this for granted at all. I love my life. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love it. I bitch a lot, but not about like stupid things, like real concerns. Okay. And I just think it's a whole learning. It's about enjoying your life. So I don't know. And hopefully my children love fishing as much as I do. And if they don't, we'll adjust. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to. It's a scary world right now. When you say, what's your legacy or what you want to, I just, you know, who knows what's going to happen. I'm still blown away. We talked about this a couple live streams ago. Like, any of this stuff, like, how are we talking to each other on a computer screen?
Yeah.
400 years, none of this was possible. Like, this is just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we're living in the most amazing time, what we think, in at least modern history, because if you go back to the pyramids and the Egyptians, like, the Egyptians didn't even build the pyramids, as far as I'm concerned. Like, there was a higher level of shit going on prior to even that civilization. Like,
Right.
I think there was more advanced people on this planet prior to us with
Might
the
have been.
technologies. Could have
Might
been.
The Earth is old. The universe is
Yeah,
large.
how can it be that old? And then within the last 200 years, all this stuff is happening.
Crazy.
I can't wrap my head around that stuff, dude.
Made me
It
want
fascinates me,
bro. Yeah.
I was having this with my buddy Yoji the other night. We're talking about that, and we talked about hobbies, and I keep coming back to this, and I'm going to do it. I said, besides fishing, and we talked about this, I want to look for Indian artifacts. I want to get into metal detecting, and I want to get a pair of night vision goggles. Those are the 3 things I want to do with my life, bro. And fish.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Shoot a goddamn turkey once in a while. Get back in the run. That's where we're at.
There you go.
What's your passion?
I'm doing it.
Exactly. With 13 to 15
changed along the way.
You know,
I mean,
that's the difference.
When I had kids, I had a passion
You
for
catch
coaching.
that, Alec.
I had a passion for coaching. Fishing was secondary to me.
Coaching what?
Oh, sports, man. I
Yeah.
loved helping kids, man, find their way. There were a lot of kids that, didn't have a dad in their life or were single parent kids. And, sports was a great way to help them find themselves, build confidence, man. I love the team aspect of it. I love watching and taking, a team of 17 kids or 21 kids, 17 hadn't played football before, making something of them. I just thought that was an incredible experience, man, making an impact in a kid's life. I love the business of business. I mean, I was all about it for a lot of years, started up a few companies and mastered that, I felt, and staffing for sure. So that's I think I'll leave a legacy in staffing, and that's pretty cool to have an impact on a lot of people's lives and help them with their careers and grow and get promoted around me and move on to better jobs, outside the company. That's something I'm really super proud of. Being a dad, no question about it. A lot of pride there, helping my kids find their way and seeing them flourish and helping them when there's tough times and, maybe they took a left turn and getting them straight.
What are these left turns, bro?
Oh, man,
I gotta look forward to.
Oh, man, lots of things, man. I mean, are you going to explain the world to them, navigating relationships when they're young, broken hearts?
Dude, that's another thing. I wish someone would.
Fights with siblings. I mean, it's family life is tough, bro. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're present for it, sure. It can be a hard thing, but it can also be a beautiful thing, man. So that's life in itself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Death of a grandparent or
I know. I thought about that today.
An uncle, explaining loss of a loved one, helping your kids navigate those waters and understanding a sickness. And
so we were driving to Wisconsin
to die, man, and having those conversations about that. Yeah, it's not all about fishing and fun. It's about
there's gonna be some hard
stuff, man.
I know that, and I'm mad.
To do with the government and the way they're prescribing this. It's like real things, people, human connection. Mm-hmm. All that kind of stuff that, hopefully you'll have those talks with your kids about one day.
Oh,
I mean, the thought that you had about the astral plane is beautiful, man. I hope they believe in that there's something more on this earth for them later in life, right?
Hopefully. But Cole saw a dead deer or a deer on the side of the road on the way to Wisconsin. Look at that. It's a bullet with a knife. Imagine that.
Crazy.
And
What was that?
and he goes, "Why is that deer sleeping on the road like that?" I go, "Brohim, it's dead." He goes, "Oh, I got to tell you another story." Okay.
Well, wait, finish that one story. And then he goes, "What do you mean it's dead?"
Well, he kind of knows now what dead means, but I said, "Yeah, he ain't moving, buddy." He got hit by a car, and not 20 miles later, I'm driving down the road, and I see 2 deer. The second deer gets creamed right in front of me. I don't think I've ever witnessed a deer getting hit by a car while it's happening, except I've hit a few, but never witnessed it.
Wow.
I was like, oh shit. So I lock it up. I'm in the left lane. The deer's now 60 yards. I'm doing 55, 60 yards in front of me. So obviously I'm braking quick. It's still quivering like this.
Yeah, right.
I look to my right and there's this girl in a little car and she saw it too, right? But instead of like me trying to figure out which way am I going to go around this deer, she's like, I saw her face like she was going to cry. She just witnessed this death in front of her. And it's like, dude, it was like the most craziest thing. Like I've shot in plenty of deer and the instant they die, it was different seeing it get creamed by a car, dude, in that setting.
Brutal.
I felt bad for the damn thing.
It's brutal. And I want to add one more thing to what my purpose in life is. Helping people, man. The most satisfied I am on this planet is along the way, man. I got it from my mom. She always lended a hand to somebody in need. And along the way in my life, that's what I've done. You know, many people have been down on their luck, and I've been I've been there for them, talk through the night or whatever it needed, man, check them into a hotel, get them a good meal, talk to them every day so they got back on their feet. Yeah, man, that's one of the things that makes me the happiest is helping people.
Yeah.
Giving. Yep. And I'd like to leave a legacy of that. I hope I can do some more of that.
I just want to make sure with my kids that, and you're right. Like I know with my parents getting older and stuff, it's going to be some hard times up ahead. He loves it here.
Yeah, I'm sure. Good thing you're bringing him there.
Yeah, but it's going to be sad. You know, my grandpa died when I was 11, and that was pretty hard for me because we fished a lot together and stuff like that. But I'm worried because my parents are definitely older, not in the greatest of health.
Yeah.
They definitely don't eat right. I bitch at them every night about it.
Yeah.
They don't care to the point. But I hope, but I had kids at an older age. We don't really know my age, but there could be shit. Hopefully he's going to be 20 and they're still going to be alive, but what I mean, that's coming. Yeah.
You can't count on it.
Part of life. So I'm nervous about that. I thought about that relationship thing you were saying about like love and, girlfriends and stuff like that as he gets older.
Yeah, man.
I think I'm going to try to looking back now.
I mean, friendships.
We've all been there. Have you been there with
friendships and trust and getting ditched, buddies not showing. I mean, there's going to be a lot of things they're going to want to talk to you about. School. I mean, bullying. I mean, it could be, breaking up a fight between friends. I mean, there are people that I don't know how your kids are wired, but I was wired as a protector, right? I wanted to protect others, right? That's how I grew up. That's what my brother was. And I got that from my mom. And, probably Italian household that I grew up in, it was a very tight family. You cared about your friends. And if, something was going down, you went to their, hey, and she helped everybody. Mm-hmm. So, you're going to have those talks, man. It's going to be interesting to see in those interpersonal relationships, whether they're, friends of your son that are boys, how things go down. Life can be tricky, man, but it can also be beautiful. It can be brutal too, right? So, and I mean,
it's just enjoy the show, man. That's how I'm looking at it. Honestly, Eric. That's what I'm trying to do, man.
Yeah.
Really
I
young.
mean, you're enjoying your time. Just, make sure you spend some time with those kids, right?
Yeah, which we are.
I know you are. It's
We
good.
are. Hopefully yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'm going to have some good advice for him, right? You know that.
Man, I don't know.
You're worried.
I'm truly, truly worried. I mean, you're
Oh,
going to
man.
be going back in history.
I don't think I'm going to
The
be.
Holocaust wasn't real. 9/11 was a fake.
I never said that. Hold up.
I really
Oh,
don't
Eric.
know. I don't know how your kid's going to make it. If you truly believe some of the things you've said,
If you truly believe that 9/11 was what really happened, you don't do enough research. That's all.
okay, bro. Good luck with that.
Don't get me
That's all I
started.
can tell you, man. Good luck with that. I don't know what school you're sending him to, but he's going to have a hard.
It's definitely not going to be some liberal public school. That's for sure.
Okay, good. You send him to private school. Send him to that hunting and fishing school you got in mind. He'll be fine. He's going to the school of hunting and gathering.
What's wrong with that?
Absolutely nothing.
I love
You can
it.
raise your kids the way you want to, straight up.
No.
It's your
Honestly,
family. Hey, look, bro. I'm not telling you. Hey, I'm not telling you how to raise your kids.
Let me ask you this, Eric. If you could do it, if you had the time, would you have homeschooled or no?
Hell no. My kids.
Okay.
My kids they said they would leave my house if I asked them to go to a private school. Flat out. They said we go live with somebody else. I told them that we were going to move, and they said we're not moving from our community. That's how strong their bonds were and friendships. They wanted to go to a public. They wanted to go to a diverse public school because they appreciated diversity, and that's why I got after you a little bit. You were cracking on the Amish. I didn't like it at all because I'm not bigoted or racist, or I don't care what stripe you wear. If you want to teach your kids Joe Rogan's cookbook, you do it, man. More power to you. You and I can argue about it. Whatever his cookbook for life is, whatever he's feeding you, you teach him all the Rogan
Why
stuff.
are you talking about Joe Rogan? I listen to a couple podcasts.
You're watching Rogan, so
just because I talk about DMT.
No, if you want to teach him the Rogan path, teach him the Rogan path. More power
What's
to
the
you.
Rogan path is my point.
I don't know what it is. I don't listen to Joe Rogan. Somebody said you'd been listening to Joe Rogan because you wanted me to go some spiritual getaway with you and take DMT in a circle of people. I'm not going. I don't need that to feel close to the universe. I'm a very spiritual guy, man. I believe. Look, I loved what you said about the astral plane, man. I felt my mom's spirit when she left this earth. That's a fact, Jack.
Talk to me real quick if you can. What happened? Like a general. You don't have to give us details.
No, I'll tell you straight up, man. I'll tell you exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
I was driving out of Washington, D.C. I love my mom, man. I still cry about it when I think about her dying because she was such a saint. And I was driving out of D.C. and my MR2 literally lost power. It's a Toyota MR2. It's two-seater. And I'm coming out of D.C. right by 295 at Route 50. And my car powers down on the side of the road. I cannot start my car. I'm immediately about to go, holy shit, I got to call AAA. Across the road, a van stops. It is a burnout, burgundy van. Okay. And there's about 5 dudes getting out to carjack me. There's no question they're coming to rob me, fuck me up. And I'm about to run. And a tow truck within 5 seconds pulls in front of me. And those dudes get back in their van. And they're gone. I was about to get fucked up. If I couldn't outrun them. I'm in a suit, dude. I'm coming out of work. Okay. And I looked before I stopped, I carried a little thing that she carried in her car. And I kind of used the 3M tape to put it on my steering column. And it was the hands of Jesus with a cross. Okay. And I looked at it before my car lost power. Yeah. Is that my mom? I don't know. Why'd that tow truck show up? I don't know.
How long ago did your mom pass before this?
She died 24 years ago. My daughter Meg never met her. My son Max never met her.
So because you looked
I'll tell you another story.
So you looked at this.
Another story. I'll listen to that. I'll tell you one more story.
Okay.
I was in the room when hospice was there for my mother-in-law. And my brother in California had a friend named Greg Shawson, and she'd never met Greg I don't even think my mother-in-law, since my brother was a teenager, had talked to my brother. And she died that night, but I got to say goodbye. And she said, your brother's friend Greg is in the room. And she had a message for my brother. Tell him that I'm okay. Now that's wild.
Huh.
She'd never met my brother. Friend Greg from California. This is like, my brother been out in California for 20 years at the time.
Yeah.
Not come home, not seen Mrs. Kennedy. Pretty wild, man. You tell me. He's in the room. He says I can see him. Pretty wild. So yeah, I mean, that'll give you some spirit, right? That'll make you think twice.
You're pretty convinced this is the end when you die.
I feel like no, man. I sure hope not. I believe in a spirit. You know, I don't go to church. I wasn't raised Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I told you my dad got kicked out of the Catholic Church when he married my mom, who was a divorcee. You know, I mean, hell, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a couple of crazy circumstances about my father.
Crazy.
You know, when I talked at his wake, I talked about it, man. It was, yeah.
Well, we covered a lot here on this live tonight.
Yeah,
we did.
And I didn't mean to piss you off about the Amish. I wasn't trying to be mean.
No, man. I just, you know, I'm super sensitive, and I think you know this about me, man. I don't judge people because of what they drive, the clothes they wear. I don't like when people pick on people, and I've always been a protector. Like in high school,
I'm not picking on Amish.
In high school, you know, I played sports. You know, I think people like me for different reasons, and I didn't really like that fact that, you know, maybe I came from a better surrounding, and I would see people pick on people and get bullied, and I'd stick up for them, and I feel that way today. And so if I hear you saying something about people that have a different way of life, it gets me angry, and so I just wanted people to know how I felt. I don't participate in it.
I saw a picture on your Instagram story of you in your younger days.
Yeah.
And you look pretty cool, bro. Did you see that, Alex?
Was it up today? I haven't been on Instagram all day.
It was in a story, I think, from Father's Day.
Okay. Probably missed it then.
It was.
You had dark black hair.
Dude, it was jet black back in the day,
Ooh.
man. Crazy.
Styling, bro.
One of these days I'll grow out my hair again. It'll get super curly, like it's a thick afro. Oh yeah, it's awesome.
You got the hair, bro? No way.
I didn't know that.
I did in high school. It was crazy looking.
That's crazy, man.
One of these days.
So yeah, man, dude, I believe that there's more than there is on this earth. I've seen a lot of signs, and they're just not coincidences. So
yeah,
I mean, you know, that's a good thing. I still cry my eyes out when I lose somebody I love, man. I miss their physical presence.
I'm trying to prepare myself mentally for that. You know?
It's hard, man. It's hard, man.
But I realize it's coming, you know, and that sucks. Because time's flying, dude. Like, we're getting old. Everybody's getting old.
Dude, it goes faster and faster, man. The clock.
You're young yet, bro. Like, you got take it. Like, if I could give advice, here's what I give my son advice. I would say, enjoy the ride to where you want to go. Like, meaning like your 20s, and like that's gonna go by so quick.
Yeah.
And the girlfriend thing, like I'm gonna say, like you're gonna meet people and they're gonna break your heart. You're gonna be mad, like but none of that really matters. Like, I don't know. Like when I look back at it, like relationships and stuff like that, man, like I was devastated with a lot of things.
Oh yeah, dude. You know that first breakup, man.
I need someone. I never had anyone to tell me, like, bro, it ain't a big deal. Like, you know what I mean? You got a lot of life ahead of you.
There's more fish in the sea to fry, baby.
That's the thing.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can tell them anything you want.
Really?
Be there.
I think if someone told me that,
no, man,
that had real life experience, I would listen.
I don't know, but
I didn't have that.
You would think that way now, but you wouldn't think that way.
I don't know.
Sting of heartbreak, the sting of a breakup. But you got to be there, man, for him, to hug him and hold him and talk to him, man, just and talk it out, man. It just feels good to know that that person's there helping you all along the way, Yeah, I mean, that's life, man. That's how they grow. You can't be there to pick them up every time they skin their knee, right?
Man, I guess.
Nah, man.
Yeah.
Build character, they'll find their way. But they're gonna come want the answers for sure. And it doesn't matter what you say, they're still gonna be crying their eyes.
I don't know, dude. I'm hoping I have that,
Nah, man, when you think you got that puppy love going and that person dumps you, dude, it don't matter what your father, your mother says, or your homie says, you are fucked up.
I don't know.
Dude, I was listening to Rod Stewart when Liz Bland broke up with me, and I was listening to Rod, get out of my life. Why know what you made? All my buddy was like, oh, man, you need her anyway. And I'm like, no, man, I'm broken hearted, bro. I had to work. Hell yeah. Liz Blanton. I told her a thing or two on the phone. That's right.
She's probably butt ugly now.
Oh, you know what? She turned out not to be a winner. It was not to be.
That's right. Ain't that the weirdest thing? Like, not that everyone, like, there's when you're good looking in high school, you kind of doesn't work out in your 30s and 40s.
What do you mean?
Like they're not that as good as they used to look, and the ones that weren't that good looking, they're pretty good looking.
Well, I'll tell you what, Diane Mariola still looks pretty hot. That's not 100% true. And my wife was beautiful in high school, and she's still beautiful today, man.
I got you.
And she's a beautiful person inside. That's the most important part. Trustworthy, integrity, funny, loves to laugh, great mom, hard worker when she had a job, man. No doubt about it. Great family person. She's my girl, man. She's my mermaid. I got lucky. Truth.
Yeah.
True. All
All I can think about right now is so tomorrow I'm going walleye fishing for a little bit.
Get them eyeballs, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna take Cole, my dad. We're just gonna spend a couple hours in the cane beds. And then I gotta get some sausage and string cheese from the cheese store up the road here. And then
Jamie Newton just said, fishing is therapeutic. The worst day of my life that had me questioning everything. A good friend took me fishing, and that was the best 6 hours. Jamie, I took Alex Militich after his wife left him, fishing on the Potomac, and we were fishing in Broad Creek. We saw blue crabs because the salt block had moved up. I was throwing buzz baits. We call it largemouth and rockfish on buzz baits.
what?
To see his smile, Jamie Newton, when he was catching those topwater fish, man, it's just like he forgot all about it for a minute, man. We had the best day, and that got him back on track, man. So, Juice, I hear you, brother. I hear you. Fishing is therapy for sure. No doubt about it, man. No doubt about it.
Sure is.
Yep.
Absolutely. This is just smallmouth crush personified. 11:15, we're talking about psychedelics, and 11:18, we transition to deep talk about the purpose of life and where we want things to go and where we wish we knew 20 years ago. So you really never know what you're gonna get, but it's always pretty interesting. There's a reason there's people still watching, I guess.
Right. Well, only 159, but they're still watching. Where did Travis go to?
I'm right
I
here.
don't know.
Take a bathroom break, bro.
Oh, I got it. All right, man. Wrap
And
this thing up, man.
Oh, let's wrap it up with one thing here.
What do you got?
I showed you this before. I want to share a picture of me, and I have no idea how old I was. Looks like I have some freckles, or not freckles, zits on my face. What do you think of that stud? There you go. To be
Looking good.
Well, and one of the best movies that I ever watched was a movie called Stand By Me. And I think it was the line at the end that got me the best, man. And it kind of just personified, you know, how you grow up and you develop these really strong friendships. And it was narrated by Richard Dreyfuss, and he was the writer writing the story. And he said they were kind of wrapping up and foreshadowing the lives of these kids because they were all like 10 and 12 and going on this big adventure to find this dead body. And
Okay.
he's writing but it was more about the adventure that they go on rather than, you know, and each kid was different. There was one kid that was the writer. He loved to tell stories and became a writer, and that's Richard Dreyfuss, is an older guy writing a story called Stand By Me, and that's the movie. And then there was the tough kid. River Phoenix played that part, you know. And then there was the kid that was a little bit overweight, you know. And then there was a kid who had a really tough father that was probably an abusive alcoholic, you know what I mean. And there was another kid that was a little goofy. I forget what his kind of shtick was, but you know, they go on this adventure, man, and it's just about these friendships and then kind of growing apart, right? And Richard Dreyfuss writes at the end, you know, I never went on in life to make any friends like the ones that I had when I was 12. And he was like, Jesus, does anyone? Think about that. Those friendships early in life, man, are some of the strongest and the best. I mean, think about it. Travis, I mean, like, who's your best friend now?
Best friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, maybe you don't have one. Did you have one growing up? And maybe you didn't.
Well, I
Did it
talk
come
to
up?
you the most, so I consider you my best friend.
All right. So who was your best friend growing up?
Like what age? Because there's high school and then before.
Well, I mean, did you grow up and stay in the same community? A lot of kids got moved around.
I
right?
stayed in the same community.
Yeah. So did you who was your best friend growing up? Mine was
Ben.
Rob Perry.
My buddy Ben that lived not too far from me.
Yeah. I mean,
But that was only until like once we hit like sophomore year,
Yeah.
not so much. But in that when you could ride a bike to their house,
yeah,
that deal.
Yeah, I'm talking about like, you know, like Rob Perry was mine. He's my confidant. You know, there were very few people like in grade school. I've known him since kindergarten. You know what I mean? And you think about it when you're going through life, right? You know, tough stuff in school or family or relationship or whatever it is, man. Not a lot of people you can talk to about that. You're not going to pop into your mom's bedroom and go, you know, hey man, you know, you just like you can share your concerns, your fears, and
You don't think that, see, I'm hoping that my son would.
I don't know.
Even though I don't
So
think
the
I did.
relationship you have with him.
I definitely didn't.
Yeah, I mean, did you have that relationship with your father? A different day, right?
No, it was a
You're
different.
talking about
My-
old school dads, right? That
My dad was more. We fish and hunt, and we didn't talk about that stuff.
right.
at all.
Tim Maynard's saying Lonesome Dove. I'll watch that. That's good, man. Yeah. But anyway, no, I mean, the point that I'm trying to make is as you grow older, you know, you may lose touch with those friends, but they're different. Those early friendships, to me, I'm not saying this has to be you and how you feel.
Yeah.
But why that movie Stand By Me kind of captured my imagination. I like that movie a lot. You know, you grow apart sometimes, right?
I mean, yeah, and I agree. I just think a true friendship, you know, you talk more than every 2 weeks. So I don't know what your problem is, dude. I mean,
Anyway, man, there you go. It's been a great show. While you were away, Alex was like, man, only on SmallmouthCrush can you talk about exploring the universe with psychedelics, and then switching 2 minutes later to what's your purpose in life?
yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So, anyways, good show tonight, guys. Next
Sure
week
was.
will be the Patreon. Really loved Eric's idea and would love to do the sight fishing kind of Patreon, but I think I'm going to save that for next year. That'll be a good March, April topic for you guys. I really think you can learn a lot. And I'm still going to put that video out here in the next couple of weeks, and I did talk about a lot of it, but you're right. There is some key things that I think will help people become a better sight angler. And this video I'm going to put out here in the next couple of weeks of talking about the Wisco event and the tournament. I think you'll find some enjoyment out of it because I literally had the mic when I was out there by myself, I had the mic hooked up and I was just kind of rambling on like I would, but I really broke some things down out on the water and what I was trying to do. And so I'm excited to be able to edit that and put that together. So that'll be coming out soon. We also have, oh gosh, what do we have? We have the BFL or MFL tournament on Bago coming up. I just released the last Opens video. I don't know if you guys watched it yet, Eric. You probably haven't. You're busy. The final tournament or final
Dude,
day one and day two on the
I
Open.
literally, my last post on Instagram was Roland Martin. I
Yeah,
haven't done anything. I literally been like nonstop running, driving, working, just no time, spending family time together, man. I haven't tuned into anything.
right.
Don't know what's going on in the world.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, just,
I'm going to be here till July 5th or 6th, and then I come home for a day. I have that doctor's appointment, and then the next day I go to Lake Ontario to fish an AVA up there that following Saturday. So
that's awesome, man.
hopefully I can get that place dialed, and you're welcome to come up with me, Eric. If
All
you
right, cool.
can.
I got, I mean, I got some free
If
time.
your schedule allows. I know you're busy.
No. I'd love to take another trip up there, man. Chase some freaking shallow water bait fish. No big waves for me. You gotta
No,
find.
we'll be all right.
No. I ain't doing it. I don't like that.
I always say
Hey,
there in the summer,
I know. I'd like to try it. Did you see that Will's got Jacob Wheeler up there this week?
Yeah, he'll take anybody, it looks like, at this point.
What are you talking about? It's great for his business.
I'm just jealous.
I know. Hey, Scooter cracked the 30 bag on the Roanoke on film, man.
Really?
Yeah. With a 9.45 on Jimmy Big Time's creature bait.
In a tournament?
No, just for fun. And Scooter said if he invited me down, because Scooter wasn't thinking my Skeeter was down there, we could have run 2 boats. We probably could have kept going and got a freaky 40. You
Really?
tell me where you can get a
This
freaky
time of the year?
dude. It's just spectacular. I don't know if you know
Speckled
much
trout
about
or largemouth?
largemouth. Not stripers, largemouth.
Jeez.
A 9.45 and a 7-something, 2 fish. That's cray.
Wow.
I know.
We need to get him back on.
Yeah, and these fish are freakishly fat. Like they've been living in the woods for 8 months because the river's flooded for like months at a time. You can't get to them, but they're eating everything like crayfish and bluegill and brim. They're just loving life. And so they're just not harassed. They're the fattest, freakiest fish I've ever seen. And crazy ass strong. Like they fight a current that is spectacular. You think these largies fight like smallmouth? They swim 100 miles an hour to you. You hook one on the riverbank, he's under the boat before you know what's going on. You got to fish 8-1. I've never seen anything like it, Alex. It would blow your mind.
I believe it. I mean,
And they got it on film. Frog bites mostly, but Jimmy's bait caught the big fish of the day. 9.45.
that's awesome.
Yeah. Crazy.
Can't beat that. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep. Crazy, right?
All right. So next week, Monday, Patreon, guys. If you haven't signed up yet, it's $10 a month. It just helps support the channel. It's not a big deal. You can go in the description of my YouTube videos and find that link, or I don't know. It's out there somewhere. You can sign up if you haven't already. A lot of you guys already are, especially the ones that are sticking with us at the wee hours in the morning here, hitting midnight here on the. Actually, it's only 11 in Wisconsin. Nice.
Yeah, it's midnight here.
There you go. But I'm gonna actually have a special guest, a buddy of mine from Green Bay, and I'm gonna be at his location for that Patreon. And he's just a real cool dude, my buddy Yoji, and we're gonna talk about a couple of his favorite techniques. A technique that I'm not really. I've seen him fish it with me, and he's done very well, but I've never used it that much. Actually, I don't think I've ever used it. but he's going to talk about it, and we're just going to have a little chit chat with him, and hopefully see a bunch of you guys on next week Monday, and then the following we have Rick from Monster Bass. And I think we got some cool people lined up. I'm just not sure who yet, or who's on the schedule, but we're going to hopefully get back into a schedule here moving forward, because we got a lot of people that have been asking to be on the show as well, and I would love to bring them on. I know Dem Jigs is going to be coming with us. Beast Coast will be back. Z Bates, actually. I think it's Z Bates in 2 weeks.
Oh,
He's
cool.
got some exciting news that he wants to share with us, as
Sweet.
well as a little deal with Rick from Monster Bass. So that'll be a good one. Eric, next week Monday, you're welcome to join us if you got time.
Okay.
We'll be hanging out with Yoji, and hopefully everyone else will hang out. Otherwise, good luck
Until
down
next time.
there. Yeah,
We'll get on the water.
there you go.
Got it.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Have a great night, everybody.
See you guys.
There you go.